Let's get nasty on a Wednesday. It's the Fast Lane on 101 ESPN. Carey Davis, Anthony Stalter, Andrew Marsh. 2:03, your time check brought to you by Clarkson Jewelers, an officially licensed Rolex jeweler. No Jamie today. Jamie's traveling with the Blues.
He's got to work.
Yeah.
I mean,
He's got to work. He's going to work tomorrow night as the Blues take on the Predators. But we start off the show, of course, with the Cardinals winning again.
How about those Cards?
Impressive performance out of Mikolas last night. True bounce-back performance for him. Mikolas in his first start surrendered 5 runs in 4 1/3 against an outstanding Dodgers team. And one thing that we talked about was a lot of the hard hits. Mm-hmm. The ball was jumping off the Dodgers' bats. Mikolas can't survive that way. Well, last night, it was pretty much a complete role reversal. 88-pitch outing. First win against not a Dodgers lineup, but a stacked Padres lineup, especially 1 through 6. And he wound up going 6 innings, only allowed to 2 runs. He was great. And now, first time plus through the starting rotation, we're starting to see better outings, better starts. And Mikolas, it started with Kyle Gibson on on Monday. He set the tone. Mikolas, very good last night.
This is the requirement for the St. Louis Cardinals for 2024. You have to get very good starting pitching. 6 innings really needs to be the bare minimum, in my opinion, from your starters. You got to get that. It alleviates some of the stress from the bullpen. It alleviates some of the problems you can run into. If you're able to do that, and Mikolas did it yesterday, Kyle Gibson. And the thing that I hope, and most pitching staffs do have this, a level of competitiveness. When Kyle Gibson goes out there and performs in that manner, Mikolas like, oh, hell yeah, I can do better. And then the next person, I can do better. And now you're just continuing to build on that. Are you going to have some games where you get the hell beat out of you? Yeah, it's baseball. But just the fact that they are all going to be competing, hopefully, to be better each time they go out, that's what makes this team better. And I was thinking about this. Maybe the Dodgers are going to win the World Series. Maybe they're just that good. Because they didn't let up. The pitching was phenomenal. The hitting was phenomenal. And they are a really good team. And so maybe when you're comparing, the Cardinals team or any other team in Major League Baseball, maybe other than the Braves, that Dodgers team is just that good. And now we're getting to see a Cardinals team versus a Padres team that is good, but maybe not as good as the Dodgers are. So maybe there are tiers to the Dodgers and the Braves are tier 1, and everyone else is figured out.
I like that they started off this way in terms of the opponent, right? So the Dodgers, you're right, they're stacked. We didn't expect them to win the series against the Dodgers.
It could have split. And you could have swept.
I expected, a more competitive series overall, but either way, you were in position to win on Sunday night.
Well, I'm saying
potentially split.
I'm saying this from a positive perspective.
Sure.
Is you could have split,
and then you don't just go on the road and face maybe a struggling Marlins team or somebody else that, Colorado, somebody that is not going to be good. You turn around, you have to face a Padres team that has Fernando Tatis Jr., that has Manny Machado, that has Xander Bogaerts, that has Ha-Sung Kim, that has Yu Darvish, no slouch. This was a nice litmus test for the Cardinals 2 series in a row, and thus far they've taken care of business. Would love to see a sweep today when they take on the Padres and Joe Musgrove, who's coming off a really bad start in his first outing. Zach Thompson, though. Now it's his time to rebound, like Mikolas did. But again, this is not, hey, you got your rear end kicked by the Dodgers, and then you turn around and you take 2 of 3 or sweep the Colorado Rockies. No, this is a very good NL West team that you've taken the first 2, and I love that they rallied last night. Willson Contreras with the big bomb to erase a 2-1 deficit. It came off of Yu Darvish. He made a mistake pitch. Contreras absolutely hammered it. Took advantage. Get guys on. Get them in. You have to play long ball at some point. They did small ball and long ball last night. It was great. Excellent.
And to Carey's point about going 6 strong, that allows the bullpen to be rested. And we saw last night what this bullpen is capable of when they're ready to go. I thought Andrew Kittredge looked awesome last night. And that is why you went out and got a guy like that.
That's the formula, right? 6 innings, Gallegos, Kittredge, and Helsley.
Yeah.
Like that should be almost every single night. Now, you're going to have Gallego's going to need a night, Kittredge going to need a night, Helsley's going to need, but that should be the formula to success. If you can get 7 and maybe just trot out Kittredge and Helsley, even better.
Or Gallegos and Helsley.
Or Gallegos and Kittredge, or
right.
whatever order, but give us at least 6.
Mm-hmm.
Don't put us in a position where we're 4 1/3. And now we got to really figure some things out, or 3 2/3. Like, let us.
Like Mikolas did, unfortunately, the first time. Yeah.
You have to get through at least 6 innings. And if you get the quality start, then you're going to have more success than you did last year. And for the people that complain about us being hard on this team, what the hell were you all watching last year? Because what I saw last year was a team that deserved criticism, a team that didn't perform well. And to start the season, again, now, hindsight being 2020, might be a damn good Dodgers team over there, and we just might not be at that level. But, you know, the expectations were it was supposed to be better. And this series has been much better than the first. Hopefully they can continue, finish it out, win the series, get a sweep, and then start opening day and be ready to roll.
Yeah, I'll make one small comment on that, Carey, because we got an email. We got an email that the Cardinals hate is way too much, and this one person was going to turn us off. We got comments on social media, hey, these guys are way too negative. Okay, that's fine. We do get snarky. It's a show that we try to have fun. Does the snark go too far sometimes? Sure. But ultimately, we're entertainment, and we're also going to call it like we see it. That was bad baseball in the first game of the season. I don't care who they were playing. That was bad ball. Cardinals fans know that. So when we talk about it, it's not us being negative. It's just pointing out what we saw. These last 2 games have been good baseball. Mm-hmm. You've seen great defensive plays. Last night, you had another diving catch in the outfield by our guy, Superbad. You had Jordan Walker.
I like that. That should be his nickname. Superbad.
You had Jordan Walker making a great catch 2 nights ago. You've gotten the ball on the ground when you had runners on base. You've played a little small ball. You've seen the bunts. You've seen home runs. Brendan Donovan with a home run. Willson Contreras home. This is good ball. So if you think that you're going to turn on and we're just going to be negative the entire season, I want to see good baseball. So do you as a Cardinals fan. We all want to see good ball. We want to see it throughout the course of the year. The last 2 games have been great. We're not going to sit here and bitch about what we just saw. It's good baseball. It's what we want to see.
I think I know what the fans want, and it's on us. It's our job to deliver it. So I'm gonna give it to them now. Okay.
Oh yeah.
Brendan Donovan 2 for 4 last night. He's hitting 292 on the season, 893 OPS. Paul Goldschmidt 1 0 for 3 last night. Not great, but 238 on the season, OPS of 766. Willson Contreras home run 1 for 3 last night, 176. It's climbing. He's at 862 OPS. We can do this all day.
2 bombs, baby. 2 bombs on the year.
We can do this all day if that's what you want.
There's reading the stats.
We can do that.
Yeah.
I can run those down. Not have an opinion. Mm-hmm. Just give you the numbers on the paper.
Yeah, we don't do the news.
On the computer.
Right.
It's not a problem.
Yeah.
We have an opinion.
Yeah.
We are human beings.
I feel like this is going to be a thing all season long. Based on what happened last season, the highs are going to be super high and the lows are going to be super low. Mm-hmm. And we're going to talk about it and we're going to have fun with it. That's what we do. We have fun. Do we make jokes? Sure. Because at the time, they deserve it. They were not playing good baseball.
When
now
they don't do well, we talk about who they are. When they do well, we talk about who they are. We had Kyle Gibson on after a hell of a performance the night before.
Like, we will say, this team looks good. They could lose 10-0 today. And tomorrow, even today, we can be like, not great.
And for those that are like, well, you're going to ride the coaster in the season? Yeah, because you want to hear about Cardinals. So
buckle up.
You got other cities around Major League Baseball that they'll talk about their baseball team, once a week. They'll kind of break things down. That's not what we do here. You want to hear about your Cardinals. So, yeah, we're going to ride the roller coaster. Cardinals win, we're going to say nice things. Cardinals lose, we're going to say mean things. It's kind of what we do. It's Fastlane on 101 ESPN. We appreciate you along for the ride. If you want to partake in the show today, Air Comfort Service tax line 314-399-9646. If you want to leave us a mic drop, fantastic. Leave us a mic drop about anything we're talking about today. And, of course, you can partake in the Snake Pit, which is our Air Alliance Team YouTube channel at 101 ESPN STL. So a lot of ways to get involved throughout the course of the show, and we're here for it. How dynamic can this Cardinals offense be by playing small ball? That's next on 101 ESPN. Mentality is a fantastic place. If you're a man or a woman, for that matter, that is feeling down, feeling depressed, feeling like, you can't, you don't want to work out, or maybe you do want to work out, you just don't have the motivation, you don't have the energy, maybe you're kind of down, depressed, whatever it may be, there might be something going on. For Jamie and I, it was low testosterone. We went in, we got checked, and Mentality, they're board-certified experts. They ran us through a very easy process. We told them how we were feeling. We talked to them about the program. They tested us. Both of us had low testosterone as we're in our 40s now. And then they got us on the program, and we've stuck to it. And I can't tell you how great I feel. I feel when I wake up, ready to go. When I go to bed, I rest easy. I love the fact that, on a Saturday or Sunday when we've got kids' ball games going, I still need to cut the grass or clean the house or get company coming over, whatever. I feel great throughout the course of the day. I have the energy, have the drive. I work out consistently now, back on a good regimen. I feel like I want to, eat healthy. It all works together. So if you're feeling, down, depressed, low energy, all of that, go down to Mentality. 2 locations, one in South County, one in Chesterfield. Tell them Jamie and Anthony sent you down there. Or you can visit them at lowtusa.com. But the bottom line is do something, because there's help out there, and you're going to feel fantastic. You're going to feel like you're 20 years younger. Again, that's Mentality. Tell them Jamie and Anthony sent you.
Yeah, guys, one thought on the Cardinals' recent, hot streak here. They're going for the sweep today. They usually avoid the sweep, so that's not a good thing for us. But I'm liking the way they're playing. I really like how Ollie's managing. BK and Ferrari said earlier, but he's managing that bullpen aggressively, and he's setting himself up and the team up for success. And I have been a critic of Ollie. I haven't liked some of the things he's done, but he's done a pretty good job 6 games in. Will that change by 162? Well, I'm sure it will for many, and I'm sure I'll be in the boat and not like some of the decisions. But Ollie's managing his tail off right now, 6 games in.
That was Swan. Great take by Swan on that one. If you want to participate, you can. Just like Swan did, he used his 101 ESPN mobile app and left us a mic drop, which you can as well. Kerry Davis, Andrew Marsham, Anthony Stalter, Jamie Rivers on the road today with the Blues. Swan nailed it, man. You're not going to like all of the decisions that Ollie made. We all sat here and questioned what Ollie was doing in game 1, inning 1, when he brought the infield in. It didn't make a lot of sense. There are times where we're all going to kind of bitch and moan about the lineup. Masyn Winn is not in the lineup today, for example. Why? I don't know. I would play my horses every single day. I would take the Atlanta Braves route as opposed to parts and parceling, some of the days off. But ultimately, your manager is managing a clubhouse. Different players, different backgrounds, different experience levels, different salaries. That is the job of a Major League Baseball manager. Yes, he writes the lineup out. Yes, the bullpen decisions, everything matters. He's got to put his team in a position to win baseball games. That's his number one job. But he ultimately, over 162-plus games, he's managing a clubhouse. So to this point, Ollie had one great season, one terrible season, got an extension. I don't know if I would have extended him with 1 year left on the deal. Cardinals felt otherwise. Mm-hmm. So we'll see how this plays out. So far, so good, with the San Diego series looking much different than the LA series, Carey.
Oh, much different. And looking like a team that could actually do something, a team that could actually put together a really good season. Right now they're at 500, and, last year was a rough season. Now, get out of this series, hopefully, with another win, seal the series and get the sweep, and then head into opening day. And we know the fanfare that comes with that. I think Ollie is doing a good job or a better job. Do you think it's because of I think it's because of the pieces that are around him, the players around him. You got more speed. You got more people that can do more things. You're not limited to one style. Like you talked about, this team can hit the ball out of the yard, or this team can lay down a bunt and get a base hit, which last year, that was not the case. It was either Nolan Gorman swinging for the fences. They're going to be station to station. You got guys that can steal bases when they get on. You got guys that can go first to third, second to home. And you got a little bit more talent, but more athleticism, which allows you to be multifaceted as opposed to just being one style. And when you're one style, teams can figure that out, and it's easier for you to be beat.
I do want to talk about the styles and kind of the tools in the toolbox. And Marshall, you got a thought on that too. Mm-hmm. But to answer your question about, do you think he's got more pieces around him? I always made this point with Mike Matheny. When Mike Schilt took over, we saw a better defense. And Mike Schilt got a lot of credit for that, and Mike Matheny took a lot of heat for that among the fan base and the media. And I always said, the defense will improve when you get better defensive players. Now, did Matheny not always play Colton Wong, who was... who matured into an excellent glove at second base? Yeah. And that was something that was an issue for Matheny. But ultimately, Mike Schilt had better defensive players. Goldschmidt at first, Harrison Bader for a stretch in center field, deciding to play Colton Wong full-time at second base. He had better defensive players. You're going to get a better defense. You want more speed? You got to get players that can run. Victor Scott can run. Masyn Winn can run. Brendan Donovan is a heads-up player. He doesn't have the same speed as Victor Scott and as Masyn Winn, but he's a instinctive player, and you have to have instincts to run the base as well. He's got better pieces around him, more versatile pieces around him.
Yeah.
I think my biggest question for Ollie heading into the year with the speed that is at the bottom of the lineup was, are they actually going to play small ball with the speed? And so far they are. Like last night, you're down 1-0. Victor Scott with an incredible effort to run home to second with Fernando Tatis Jr., who's got a cannon of an arm out there. Extends that to a double. He ends up scoring because you ended up playing small ball, and then you make it basically a 0-0 game at that point. Like, that is how you win baseball games. You don't need to get the home run in that inning. You don't need everyone swinging for the fences. Just tie the game, get it back to 0, essentially, and then you saw what happened next. Willson Contreras hits the 2-run shot.
Right.
They end up taking the lead, and that's how you win a ball game. You put yourself in a position to not be down so many runs to where then everyone feels like they have to hit home runs. Just keep inch by inch, inch by inch. You have 9 innings to play.
Yeah.
You're not trying to win the game in 1 inning. And I think they're doing a good job of that.
Last night, to me, was a perfect game. How they won. We talk a lot about, not just in baseball, but in hockey and football and basketball. How do you win games? How do you lose games? Well, let's take a look at last night. It's a Padres team that you know is at least a wild card contender in the National League. You got good, solid pitching out of Miles Mikolas. He goes 6 innings. Your bullpen only has to eat up 3 innings. Excellent. You got strong defensive play out of your infield and your outfield. Overall, you got excellent defensive play. You got a little small ball like you were talking about, Marsh, and then you get the big home run that wound up putting you up. That's perfect. I don't think you have to be just one thing or the other. I don't think you always have to play small ball. It is one tool in your toolbox. Imagine having a playbook and only having runs in those playbooks.
Right.
Everything should be complementary of each other. You should have, I don't want a balanced offense. I want an elite offense. I would love them for them to be elite in, one category. But can you be solid in the other categories as well?
Right.
That's how you have a good baseball team. So that was a perfect win last night.
Because it's
all phases.
It's all phases. It's multiple ways to win. And again, you don't know. It's harder for a team to just for an opposing team to just focus on a team that does so many things and they do them well. When you do a lot of things and you can do it well, you're gonna be a better team, and it's gonna be harder for teams to beat you. If you don't know, like you said, Willson Contreras, hit one out, but we can also sacrifice fly. We can get guys to second, get them to third, get them moving on the bases, and with less than 2 outs, and allow them to get around. If Victor Scott is on second, I think he's going to score. Mm-hmm. It could be a ball bounced in the dirt 2 feet away from the catcher, and he's probably going to get to third. And now he's another bounce ball away from being at home. That's what this team is. This team has the speed, has the capability to win in multiple ways, and last year they didn't. And so if you couple that with really good pitching, guys that can go out there and give you innings as starting pitchers, and your bullpen is not gassed by May 31st or middle of May 15th, then you have a chance to be a successful team. And I think that's what this organization planned on building in the offseason. I think that's what they have right now.
I don't know about you guys. Every time I watch the game, I get excited for the bottom half of the order. I don't know if I've ever felt like that in my entire life watching my favorite baseball team. Yeah. It's always been, all right, let's get the guys back up, the top of the order.
Top 5, 6 guys.
The 6, when Jordan Walker or whoever's batting, I'm like, just get a base hit or get out. Like, I want to see Victor Scott. I want to see Masyn Winn. Won't see him today. We'll get into that.
What? What? He's not playing.
Oh, Carey. Should we...
Masyn Winn? What happened?
Maybe we should get to it, Anthony.
Let's get to it. Why is Masyn Winn not in the lineup today?
Oh, man.
That's next on 101 ESPN.
101 ESPN Sports Center.
I'm Andrew Marsh. It's time for a Sports Center update driven by Johnny Londoff Chevrolet and Johnny Londoff Autoplex. The Cardinals won 5-2 last night over the San Diego Padres. They go for the sweep. 3:10 first pitch. Zack Thompson takes the mound going up against Joe Musgrove. The Blues are going up against the Predators tomorrow night. Pregame starts at 6. Puck drop is at 7. We'll talk later today with Jeremy Rutherford in the 4 o'clock hour. Also, Jake Sutherland of the Battlehawks will join us in the 5 o'clock hour as well, so stay tuned for that. We're going to dive into the Cardinals lineup coming up next. Masyn Winn not in the lineup. Why is that? We'll discuss it next right here in the Fast Lane. I'm Andrew Marsh, and the Sports Center update is driven by Johnny Londoff. Find new roads and shop 24/7 at londoff.com and londoffAutoplex.com. Are you kidding me?
They failed so spectacularly yesterday during the lineup game that I think that they lost the ability to do it today.
Oh, wow.
Here we go. Let's get the lineup. I think this is going to be a tough one, Alex.
So this will be my Gorman. Oh, okay.
Show us Jordan Walker.
This is Burleson.
I mean, it might be Walker.
So this is Burleson.
Burleson. Matt Carpenter.
Oh, crap.
Yeah, Matt Carpenter.
Not great.
All right, hold on. Let's hey,
Let's,
so Burleson? I don't think Carpenter's playing. I think
go
Carpenter's
Burleson.
tomorrow.
Burley's the answer?
Yeah. Matt Carpenter. Show us Matty Carp.
Okay, Jordan Walker.
Jordan Walker. Let's go Burleson here.
Let's go Victor Scott here. Let's go Michael Ciani here. What is happening
Guys,
right now?
this is pathetic.
Oh, sure.
Michael Ciani. All right, so we sucked at the lineup game. I apologize to the Fast Lane. They deserve better.
Man, you're like Mikolas. You talk a lot of trash, but then don't perform.
No, that's fair. I deserved that. I earned that.
That was BK, Ferrari,
not
and
great.
T-Bone. Yeah. Credit to Brandon Kiley for, after hammering us yesterday in the lineup game, at least saying it was not easy.
Not as easy as it looks, huh?
Not as easy as it looks. It's the Fast Lane on 101 at ESPN. Andrew Marsh, Carey Davis, I'm Anthony Stalter. No, it isn't. It isn't as easy as it looks. I mean, it's when you get one player that you expect to be in the lineup that is not, that is usually when things go haywire.
Like Nolan Gorman for us yesterday?
Like Nolan Gorman for us yesterday. Yeah. So,
I agree.
better effort from those guys at some point, I'm sure. But yeah, Masyn Winn is not in the lineup today, which is disappointing. I mean, you have an opportunity to sweep, and one of your young players, your stud defensive shortstop, somebody that does have the speed, that speed element that we just got done talking about, not in the lineup today. Here's your lineup. Brandon Donovan is leading off, playing left. Paul Goldschmidt is hitting second, back at first base. Willson Contreras is the DH. He's hitting third. Nolan Arenado is your cleanup hitter. He's playing third. Nolan Gorman is the second baseman. He's hitting fifth. Ivan Herrera is behind the dish, hitting sixth. Brandon Crawford is your shortstop. He's hitting seventh. Jordan Walker back in right field. He's hitting eighth. And Victor Scott rounds out the lineup in the 9-hole, and he's playing center field. We've talked about this. I would love for the Cardinals to adopt. It's not a model. The Braves just play their guys. I would love to see the Cardinals do that consistently.
It's called a winning motto.
I would think so.
You want to win?
Yes.
Play your guys every day.
So why isn't Masyn Winn in the lineup?
I don't know.
Brandon Crawford's numbers against Joe Musgrove.
Pretty good?
Pretty good. Now, I believe it's like 25 at-bats, give or take. But I understand why. I just don't know if I would do it.
Well, Masyn Winn hasn't had a chance to bat against Musgrove.
All right, so
he's 7 for 25.
So against Joe Musgrove, Brandon Crawford's got 29 plate appearances, 25 ABs, 7 hits. He's got 3 doubles, a triple, 2 home runs, has struck out 7 times. So yeah, he's got really good numbers. Could you play him at second and have Masyn Winn at short? Could do that.
Nolan Gorman's your second baseman. You all told me that every day. That's what you said.
I would play him every
you.
day.
No, he's there. It's
It's a power element. Every day.
How many home runs he got?
0.
Right. Much power right now.
You're not even a week into the season.
It would be the worst week of the season.
Come on,
It'd be one thing if Masyn Winn was not hitting at the plate, but he has. And wouldn't you want to keep that going for a young player to establish some confidence?
Yes.
To play every single day, plus his arm plays. You need him at short. Not that Brandon Crawford can't play, and I understand. I understand why Brandon Crawford would be in there today due to the numbers. But again, I wouldn't do it. I would keep Masyn Winn in there. You have an off day on Friday.
Mm-hmm.
What are we doing?
Yeah.
I was looking at some numbers, and so the Cardinals last year had 11 bunts on the season. Right now they have 2. Matt Carpenter had 1. That was great. Masyn Winn has the other. Sacrifice bunt attempts. The Cardinals last year had 13. Right now they have 3, which means to me they are playing small ball. They are, and Masyn Winn has 2 of those 3 sacrifice where he's able to move a runner over. He plays the game the right way. Mm-hmm. That's what I want. And I'm going to make a bold prediction. Masyn Winn will be an all-star. Maybe not this year, but possibly.
I thought you were going this year.
The hell with it. I will go this year.
There you go.
And finish him.
That's bold. You just made a prediction before.
Yeah, it's a bold prediction.
Yeah.
Because the question coming into the season was, is he going to hit? Now, again, you just mentioned it's the first week of the season, so we would take it with a grain of salt, but he is performing pretty well at the plate.
That was coming off the Gorman
but
comment
you can't
about
have
him
it both ways,
not
right?
having a home run.
You can't have it both ways. If one guy's not performing, you say it's the first week, and one guy is, it's the first week, right? It's got to be all things fair.
But I'm not arguing that for Masyn Winn.
All right. Well,
you and I, we're on the same page here about Masyn Winn playing.
I think watching him play, I want him to play 150 games because I know in the infield, he's going to save you multiple runs throughout the entire season. He's going to perform well. It's interesting to watch runners now when he gets the ball, they know it's an out. It almost doesn't matter where he is in the infield on the dime. They know he could be 2 steps in the grass. It's probably an out.
Yeah.
His arm is that strong, and it doesn't matter how fast you are. He's a damn good player, and he's obviously playing the game the right way. I don't know why you have him out today. Maybe you want to save him. Maybe that 22-year-old body needs an extra day. He's already had one, right? He needs another one to prepare for opening day because that's draining. It's taxing. No, it's taxing. Being 22, 23 years old,
Carey,
preparing for opening day, the stress that comes with that, you want to be ready. So clearly that's what it is.
Yeah, it's a matchup.
Play my guy.
He's playing. Marsh is right. Crawford's playing because he got good numbers against.
Put him
Joe
at second
Musgrove.
base. You know who's not having good numbers right now? That's what I said.
Nolan Gorman had yesterday off. You're not going to sit him and
let him DH.
He did not start. He came in later. But we got an interesting text from the 314. Definitely want to know your thoughts on this. It's not rocket science. They want to get Crawford ABs as he gets used to being a part-time player. This is about keeping your veterans in your clubhouse happy. I agree, but don't you think that Brandon Crawford, when he signed with the Cardinals, knew the assignment coming in?
Yeah, and I understand the point that the texter's making, but you want to get your, what was the first part? You want to get your veterans comfortable by getting them at bats? Is that what it was?
Yeah, just to keep them happy. Keep them happy.
The purpose of a veteran,
you're a part-time player.
If you're a veteran, you know when you signed, Masyn Winn is the starting shortstop, which means 7 days a week I might play once. I might play 1 game a week because this is my guy. I don't.
Crawford knows the deal. He knows the deal. He didn't sign here to be a starter. He understands that it's Masyn Winn's job. He's going to take what he gets. Now, again, I think this is a matchup thing. I think
for sure.
I think Ali looked at the numbers, lifetime, and said, "I'll take the 2 home runs and the 25 at bats, 29 plate appearances against Joe Musgrove. I'll get Crawford in the lineup." Do I agree with it? No, because ultimately, 29 at bats. I'm not benching Winn for 29 at bats, but hey, it's Ali's team. We'll see how this goes here with the offense today.
And I think this is more for the people that are upset about this, and I would think, not that we're upset, we just don't really agree with it. I think it's more so people want to see Masyn Winn rather than the matchup thing with Brandon Crawford. People just want to see Masyn Winn play.
Absolutely.
I want to see him play. He's an exciting player.
Yep.
And he's hitting really well right now, and he's playing good defense.
I'm with you guys. All right, Willson Contreras. Any more doubts about Willson Contreras? We'll get into that next.
Willie's a guy he's super competitive, and he wants to be the best at what he does.
Smoke towards center. Merrill on the run at 396. He does it again.
Chip, I couldn't have said it any better myself. Jumped all over it.
Yeah, you could have.
So the first voice you heard was Kyle Gibson, who joined our show yesterday. He was talking about Willson Contreras. The second voice you heard was Jamie Rivers when he was sick.
That was Chip Carey.
Oh, no, it was Chip Carey. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
And Brad Thompson making a joke and Chip responding, in kind there. On the Bally Sports Midwest broadcast last night. So Willson Contreras touches seats. Are there any more doubts when it comes to Willson Contreras? Well, I don't think fans had any doubts, not after April of last year. And I think a lot of fans had Willson Contreras' back when the pitching staff, or at least there were some rumblings that the pitching staff wasn't loving what they were seeing with Willson Contreras, either from a game planning standpoint and or an in-game standpoint. The Cardinals have downplayed that whole situation. In fact, they said it was kind of overblown. That was their indirect statement, their unofficial statement. The whole thing was overblown. Either way, you signed this guy to hit, and that's what he's doing. Now, the average might not always be there, but this guy's going to hit 20 or so home runs. He's going to crush the baseball consistently, and he may have found a new home in that 3-hole. I know it's only one game. They kept him there today. I think it's a nice spot for him.
Yeah.
Gorman would be fine there, too, because, again, you're hitting between Goldschmidt and Arenado. It is a good spot. But you go Goldschmidt, Contreras, Arenado, and then when Gorman starts hitting, that power will come. That fifth spot, you want RBI guys.
Well, that's why I always kept asking, why does it matter right, left, righty, lefty, righty, lefty? I didn't think that mattered. You put the best players where they belong. And right now, Willson Contreras is hitting the ball really well. And you're going to see good pitching if you're hitting well. It helps everyone. It helps Goldie because you got Contreras hitting well. Mm-hmm. It helps Contreras because he's sandwiched in between those two. And then if either one of those guys get on, it helps Arenado because now you don't really want to groove anything to him because you know what damage can be done. So I think it makes the most sense to have your best players batting where they need to be. Righty lefty didn't make much sense to me, but yep. I'm happy for Willson Contreras because the comments that came out last year were unfair. It was disrespectful as a teammate. You don't let what goes on inside the locker room, you don't let what goes on in-house become said outside of the house. And that's essentially what happened. And the Cardinals could have pretended like, oh, it's overblown. The media, you all didn't. No, we didn't. Your pitching staff had a feeling about their catcher. They let it be known. We took it, and we understood what was being said. And then we talked about this yesterday. You made a very good point. One thing that Kyle Gibson didn't do, he didn't play with Yadier Molina. Mm-hmm. He was not a part of what took place over the last decade plus, 18 years plus with this Cardinal staff. So what he learned is when you get to a new place, you got to learn your people. You got to learn what they do well, what they don't do well, what they like, what they don't like. And conversely, Willson Contreras has to do the same thing for his pitchers. And I think you saw a really good, it really meshed up really well the other night when Kyle Gibson performed. And I think when Willson Contreras can just be him, you're going to see the best version of him. Mm-hmm. Last year, he performed really well, despite all of the outside noise. You're probably going to see a better version of him this year because that outside noise is no longer happening.
I also think he's been one of the best catchers behind the plate in Major League Baseball as well, which is the one thing that I want to look at. His bat will play. There's no question about that. I think the biggest question was, what is he going to look like behind the plate? And I think he's put the work in this offseason to be what we need him to be and what the pitching staff needs him to be. And so far, he's one of the best in the league.
I've really enjoyed talking to Kyle Gibson yesterday. I know you did too, Carey, and so did Jamie. Just listening to him talk about, he gave the anecdote about facing Contreras in spring training, mm-hmm. and Contreras immediately walked over to Gibson after they were done. So I shouldn't say immediately, but eventually sought out Kyle Gibson and wanted to know why Kyle Gibson attacked him the way he did. Now that's
That's beneficial for two reasons. One, Willson Contreras, student of the game.
Right.
How does an opposing pitcher, how is he going to attack me? Mm-hmm. Also, getting inside the head of Kyle Gibson so that those two, when they're battery mates, can be on the same page.
And know how they want to attack certain batters.
Right.
Yep.
If you don't care, you don't ask those questions. You don't ask any questions. If you're just looking for a paycheck, you don't ask those questions. And we've seen some free agents come in here. I won't name names, but there have been some free agents that have come in here and have flat out said, don't care if I'm in the lineup or not. I got paid. Willson Contreras is not that way.
Right.
He's a baseball player.
There's only one thing, if I could critique, and I've never caught a major league game a day in my life, but I've watched one of the greatest catchers to do it. His framing, when he's framing balls, I feel like he kind of jerks it too far.
Yeah.
That's the only, because the ump may say, if you frame it and move just a little bit, it will look like a strike. But when you move it here, all the way up or all the way in or out, it looks like you're trying to get me to call a strike. That's the only complaint that I would have for Willson Contreras and watching him behind the plate. Everything else, I think he's been calling a good game. Kyle Gibson said it yesterday. There were a couple of times where I had to shake him off because that's not what I was thinking. But then the best part is when we are both on the same page, thinking of the same pitch at the same time, that's when we're vibing and gelling and meshing really well, and you're going to get the best version of this battery ram.
I love how Kyle Gibson was realistic too. He's like, I got 6 pitches.
Yeah,
we're not always going to be on the same page. Ed left us a mic drop.
Guys, we never should have been worried about the big Willie because as an outsider looking in, me being a Royals fan, anyone that comes to the Cardinals, it seems, it takes them about a year to kind of fall in. And look at this. Big Willie style was falling in line in his second year. He was doing it last year once he actually figured out he was going to be catching. But I think he's running with the position this year now that he knows it's his. So, hey, let's give them more than 2 series and then start judging their work. Okay? Love you. Bye.
Ed nailed that. Ed nailed that. That was an excellent mic drop. One, it was funny, too. He brought up a great point about about Cardinals free agents coming in. It doesn't always take a year. In fact, it didn't take Contreras a year last year. He started hitting. When you look at his numbers from a year ago, they're on par with his career numbers.
Right.
But to Ed's overall point, it does take a little while. Goldschmidt, it took half a year. I remember people being concerned right around the All-Star break that Paul Goldschmidt wasn't going to pan out. In his first year in St. Louis. So it took him half a year. He got comfortable. Contreras, I think, took less than half a year, and he got comfortable. Jason Hayward took about a month plus when he was acquired from the Braves in that big deal in the offseason. Took him to about June or so. I think the expectations, there is still kind of an air of, I don't know what you want to call it, but you coming to St. Louis and playing for the Cardinals and the history here, I do think it takes some guys a little bit to settle in. Mm-hmm. Typically when a deal is made, like the Hayward deal or the Contreras deal, there's a lot of fanfare that comes with it. The Jason Hayward trade was big at the time.
Right.
Willson Contreras, obviously being signed last year, that was your big signing last year, and he was taking over for Yadier Molina. Yeah. There's always some sort of storyline that comes with these free agents coming into the Cardinals, unless they're small one-year deals, role players, things like Crawford didn't, there wasn't a big deal with Crawford. But I thought Ed made an excellent point there. We didn't have to overlook, we didn't have to worry too much about this. And once he settled in, he started hitting just like his numbers suggested he would. All right, it's Fastlane on 101 ESPN. The Cardinals play in less than 15 minutes. So we have Beat the Streak coming up. And we'll also talk about Zack Thompson. What does he need to do to right the ship after a rough one last week against the Dodgers? Mikolas did it last night. Will Zack Thompson do it tonight or today? That's next on 101 ESPN. Mosby Building Arts, the Wright Remodeling Company, man, they got a great deal going on throughout the month of April. It's still early on, but look, you want to give them a call right now because they have their spring refresh sale. Mosby's going to give you $1,000 off bathroom remodels plus low monthly payments. 10% off windows or 12-month no payments as well. So spring refresh sale, you want to upgrade the look and feel of your home. You want to upgrade the look and feel of maybe your curb appeal, add curb appeal. New windows would do that. 10% off doesn't hurt, or again, 12 months no payments. One of the biggest things when it comes to remodeling the home and upgrading the home, kitchen and baths. $1,000 off bathroom remodels right now, plus low monthly payments. That's all with Mosby Building Arts. People will leave Google reviews or they'll contact Mosby and they'll tell them that they wish they would have went with Mosby right away. They may have gone with a different contractor or multiple contractors thinking they're going to save all this money up front, and they don't. They struggle with it, or they struggle with the fact that big box companies or these contractors will add money throughout the course of the project. Not with Mosby. They're up front with it. They take the right measurements. They get the right pieces in, the right materials in. Then they start your project, and they're in constant communication. Make sure that you're happy. Mosby Building Arts. Give them a call right now. They're fantastic. 314-909-1800. Again, 314-909-1800. You can also visit callmosby.com. Tell them Stalter sent you. Mosby Building Arts, the Wright Remodeling Company.
I want to hit baseballs.
All of my successes depend on me.
You ready to hit?
The hits just keep on coming.
And his first big league hit is a bullet up the middle.
302, your time check is brought to you by Clarkson Jewelers, an officially licensed Rolex jeweler. We're Carey Davis and Andrew Marsh. I'm Anthony Stalter. We welcome Sam back as he got a hit last night for our Beat the Streak contest. So, Sam, welcome back. Congratulations.
Thank you.
So you're going for 2 in a row today. Who do you like?
Well, I can't take Nolan Arenado because I think there's still too many young guys around. So give me Victor Scott II.
All right. Victor Scott is going to Sam. Marsh, did you continue your streak yesterday?
I did continue my streak.
Look at you. You're up to 3 now.
So I'm going to go with Ivan Herrera today. Herrera to get a base hit.
Really?
Ivan Herrera. Okay.
It's my turn. Finally got on the board yesterday, Carey.
Good job.
I had Nolan Arenado yesterday. I'm gonna go RL Chalk. I'm gonna go Paul Goldschmidt. Give me Goldie. Good base hit today off Joe Musgrove or one of the Padres relievers. Who would you like?
I'm gonna go Manny Machado.
Okay.
Sorry, I know I usually pick the opposing team, but I'm trying to win. I don't know what I'm winning, but.
Well, this Cardinals pitching staff has shoved it.
Yeah.
So
Zack Thompson, but Manny Machado is a pretty good baseball player.
Yeah, I would say so. Absolutely. Yeah. It's a fast line on 101 ESPN. Sam, we appreciate it, man. Good luck to you.
Thanks. And, Herrera was actually my second pick, so good pick, Marshy.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Let's hope he gets a base hit. Also, Jamie has picked Brendan Donovan.
That's right.
Brendan Donovan has beat the streak for Jamie.
How many hits does he have? Has he hit like 3 or 4 games in a row?
Who's that, Donovan?
Yeah.
I think 3.
It's a good pick by Jamie.
Yep. All right, Scott, or Sam, thank you.
Thanks.
I looked down. He had Victor Scott. That's why I call him Scott. Scott Sam. He took Victor Scott. All right, so Zack Thompson takes the hill today against the Padres. And in his first start, he gave up 5 home runs. So now it's a perfect segue then to play our home run derby.
Back. Stay fair! Stay fair!
Go fair! I don't believe what I just saw. Home run.
So the aforementioned Jamie Rivers, he's leading all of us. He's got 3 points because Brendan Donovan hit a home run 2 nights ago. None of us had Willson Contreras last night. He was the only one that hit the home run for the Cardinals. So our standings stay the same. Jamie Rivers with 3. The rest of us still looking to get our first home run. Who does Jamie have today, Marsh?
Jamie has Paul Goldschmidt for his home run today.
So he's going chalk. He's trying to protect the lead. Not a bad strategy. Marsh, who do you like?
Jordan Walker got sent down in the lineup. He's batting 8th today. I think Jordan Walker hits a home run today.
Marsh with Walker. Carey.
We talked about him earlier, and he's not performing well. He got moved down in the lineup as well from the 3-hole to the 5-hole. I'm going to go Nolan Gorman this first of the year.
You're going Gorman, huh?
Yeah. He's a first-tier guy, right?
All right.
I just got to get on the board.
Well, hey, you know what? Why don't you just give me Willson Contreras then?
All right.
Why don't you give me Willson? Go back-to-back here.
That makes sense, Anthony, because on the YouTube chat, the Airlines team YouTube page, you look like Willson from Home Improvement.
Yeah.
We had to fix that.
Apparently the mic or the camera not working well today, at least for me. All right, so Jamie's got Paul Goldschmidt. That's 1 point per home run. I have Willson Contreras, which is also 1 point per home run. Nolan Gorman is who Carey selected. Gorman, 1 point per home run. Marsh with Jordan Walker, that'd be 2 points per home run. That's how the home run derby works here in the fast lane on 101 ESPN. As I mentioned before, Zack Thompson toes the rubber for the Cardinals. All 5 of the runs that he allowed against the Dodgers last week in the 5 1/3 were home runs. So it would stand to reason he keeps the ball in the yard, he's going to have a better outing. When it comes to watching Kyle Gibson and Miles Mikolas, one of the things that stood out was that they were able to generate a lot of soft contact. Kyle Gibson also mentioned attacking hitters in certain spots once they had a lead and trusting his defense. The defense has come up big in this series as well. So hopefully Zack Thompson, if he's going to rebound today, generate soft contact. If they do put it in play, trust the defense. And again, it stands without reason. He's just keep the ball in the yard.
Yeah, we talked to Kyle Gibson about that yesterday. It was a 3-1 count. He told himself, you know what, I'm not going to walk this guy. I'm going to let him, if he hits it, he's going to get a hit. Or my defense, which has not had any errors this entire season, number 1 in the Major League so far in 6 games, and has 8 double plays, which is tied for second in the Major Leagues. They are playing extremely well. If you can allow your defense to play and allow your guys behind you to have your back, so to speak, keep the ball in the yard, which we talked about Zack Thompson was unable to do in his last start. If you're able to do that, trust the guys behind you. Now, Masyn Winn isn't playing, so your defense may take a little bit of a step back. Not that Brandon Crawford is, he's just a little older. But you got guys behind you that are making really, really good plays. You talked about Siani or Sarah making a great play in the outfield. You talked about Jordan Walker, super bad, making a great play. Jordan Walker making a great play a couple of nights ago. They're doing an outstanding job. I thought Willson Contreras made a great play yesterday on the bunt that was laid down where he was able to throw out the runner. Like he pounced on it, got to it. I didn't think he was going to either have the angle or be able to, but he threw a strike and was able to get the guy out. So they're playing really well defensively. Trust your defense. Don't put too much pressure on yourself to be perfect. Throw your game and allow your defense to do their job behind you.
Again, here's your lineup today for the Cardinals. Brendan Donovan leading off, playing left. Paul Goldschmidt playing first. He's hitting second. Willson Contreras is your DH. He's hitting third. Nolan Arenado is your cleanup hitter. He's playing third. Nolan Gorman is playing second and hitting fifth. Ivan Herrera is behind the plate, hitting sixth. Brandon Crawford is your shortstop, and he's hitting seventh. Jordan Walker is in right field, hitting eighth, and Victor Scott is your center fielder, hitting ninth against Joe Musgrove, 0-1, 9.72 ERA, as he was roughed up by the Giants last week.
By the way, we got a text from the 636 and a few people chiming in, wondering why no one picked Brandon Crawford after talking about him. He's in the lineup. Obviously, he's got good numbers against Joe Musgrove. Why did no one pick him?
Is it too late?
Yeah. Yep, it is. I thought about him. I did. But I've done the whole numbers thing.
Not you.
No, it's not me. I've done the whole, this guy's got good numbers. Like Arenado yesterday had good numbers against you Darvish. And I think you wound up snaking him from me, but that was my thought process. Like, he's got good numbers. I mean, come on. How about we take the guy that's got the home runs? Contreras has got two.
He does.
That's what I went.
Today's a huge game for me because if you get the sweep, you head into playing Miami, who is horrible at the moment.
They lost again today, 10-2.
Did you see the other? This is how out of sync they are. They had a double steal. I believe it was last night. First pitch, we're swinging at it, popped it up, doubled off. That's the Miami Marlins. You win today, you could. That would be four. You could be 7-3. That's a way better start.
So you already got the. You got them sweeping the Padres and sweeping Miami.
All right.
Hey, I'm positive Pete today, Anthony. We got two wins on the board.
I like it a lot. You're right. This is, first of all, win the series. You've already won the series. If you could get a sweep, you come back, you're feeling opening day, that's for sure. But yeah, today, Skip's team, not great again. They committed one error that cost them a couple of runs. Their pitching has not been good this year. They're not hitting well at all. Even Luis Ariz, 0 for 3, got hit by a pitch and was taken out of the game too.
Oh, that's not good for you.
You can't pick him tomorrow.
No. So whoever that was, I think it was Patrick Sandoval that hit him. He's enemy number one for me. I need hits, guys. But Luis Ariz got hit by a pitch on his hand. Ooh. He came out of the game. Bell hitting 231. Berger, who's a local kid, right? Jake Berger? Mm-hmm. Jake Berger's the only guy that's really hitting for them right now. Everybody is well under 300 except for Berger, who's hitting 310. So, yeah, you're right, Marsh. I mean, you got a Marlins team coming in here. Maybe it's a situation where you can take advantage of a team that is down and out, but you got to get this one today against a struggling Joe Musgrove and a now struggling Padres team. It's Fastlane on 101 ESPN. We'll keep you updated on the Cardinals today and have observations throughout the course of their game against the Padres. But we're going to switch gears. Major trade today in the NFL. What does it mean not only for a Texans team that's going all in, but what about the Bills as they traded Stephon Diggs today? That's next on 101 ESPN.
As we typically do in the month of April, we're getting a ton of rain. Big rainstorm the other night as I was driving to work today. Had rain again. Is your roof in good shape? If it's not, or you don't know, then call Happy Roof Company. Because if you're experiencing any issues with your roof, leaky roof, old roof, damaged roof, ugly roof, you do not want that issue to persist. You don't want us to be sitting there one night and say, you know what, it's fine. And then all of a sudden, you got roof problems, you got water damage. Anybody that had water damage before, you know it's a huge issue. But Happy Roof Company, they're outstanding. In fact, if you do have a problem, give them a call, 314-665-3001. Because if you call today, the Happy Roof Company, they're going to have someone to look at your issue within 24 hours. And they don't chase storms. They're not one of these companies that march, in and out of certain states or in and out of certain counties and say, hey, we got a lot of, damage going on right now in your area. Do you want us to take a look at your roof? Do you want a new roof? They don't chase storms. 100% of their market is in St. Louis. That's where they do their business. That's where they want to do their business, and that's where their expertise is. Their headquarters, in fact, is right there in Sunset Hills. They do residential and commercial roofing. They have free estimates with competitive pricing, cost-effective solutions on both flat roofing and metal roofs. They're the best. Again, give them the call. 314-665-3001. TheHappyRoof.com is the website. Tell them Stalter sent you, The Happy Roof Company. The NFL had yet another big-time trade as Stephon Diggs this morning was traded from the Buffalo Bills to the Houston Texans in exchange for a 2025 second-round pick. Houston will also receive a fifth and sixth-round pick for 2025. Crazy deal, I think, for both sides. Let's start with Houston because Houston's a little bit easier to sum up. They have an outstanding young franchise quarterback in C.J. Stroud. First year in the league, great. Gets a home game after winning the division. They win that home game against Cleveland. They're loaded, and they've had a tremendous offseason. As you were mentioning yesterday, Carey, we weren't talking about the same team.
On the same page.
No, but as you mentioned, the Texans, they signed Danielle Hunter. Mm-hmm. They now bring in Stephon Diggs.
Right. Joe Mixon.
They traded for Joe Mixon, which to that team, I like Joe Mixon. I just don't think that there's a power element to his game. So I think he's a good back. Okay, I'm nitpicking. He's a good back. The Texans are loaded.
Yeah,
they're the team. They're the team to beat in the AFC South, which I'm not stretching for that one. They won the division last year, and everybody's going to like them again this year. Tennessee, not great. Jacksonville, we'll see. And then Indianapolis, Anthony Richardson is in. If he's healthy, we'll see if they're competitive. But that's not a stretch. The real question is, where do you have them in the AFC?
When you look at it now, when you base it off of what you saw last year, because C.J. Stroud was clearly a surprise, right? Everyone thought that Bryce Young would be the one that would be. He's the number one overall pick. You thought he would do a great job, but C.J. Stroud surprised a lot of people. And this Texans team came out of nowhere and performed extremely well. In the AFC, it's scary to say that you think that they could be a contender in terms of AFC championship, probably divisional at worst. Mm-hmm. If they made it to the AFC championship game, I would not be surprised because, again, what they did offensively, defensively, and how much better they've gotten in the offseason, he did all of that without a true number one receiver.
Right.
And talking about C.J. Stroud. Now you got one of the best, probably top 5, definitely top 10, top 7 receivers in the league in Stephon Diggs. We saw what the transformation was for the quarterback in Buffalo. Josh Allen's career when you get
it's amazing. You've already forgot about him.
You lose a receiver like that, you should be forgotten, right?
We'll get to it.
It's Gabe Davis and Stephon Diggs going. Who are you going to throw the ball to? 2 tight ends. You got
Dalton Kincaid.
There you go. Good luck. Because Stephon Diggs is going to have a hell of a time in the AFC South and in the AFC with C.J. Stroud as his quarterback. I think this move puts them in a place along. And I know you don't like Joe Mixon. I know you're not a fan.
I like Joe Mixon.
You don't like him. You said it. Joe Mixon didn't get the ball enough. Mm-hmm. He's a hell of a running back. He did not get the ball enough.
Well, you have 42 wide receivers. You got to feed the beast.
And you got Joe Burrow, who you're going to throw the ball. Yeah. If you are able to have a balanced offense with the Texans, hopefully they have this year, this is going to be a really good football team. And then you got Will Anderson in that defense who played. You added Danielle Hunter. You got a defense that is playing extremely well. Stingley did a great job also. They have a lot of guys on that team, young guys, and a young head coach who is going to motivate them to run through a brick wall if need be. Mm-hmm. I like what the Houston Texans have done.
So, if you kind of size up, again, I asked you where the Texans following this deal for Stephon Diggs and the offseason. Okay, it's not just adding Diggs. It's what they did last year. It's the franchise quarterback. It's DeMeco Ryans, who did a phenomenal job in his first year. It's Tank Dell, hopefully coming back off injury. Yep. Nico Collins, the defense, everything, okay? It's not just about the trade they made today with involving Stephon Diggs. But the Texans, okay, we all still have the Chiefs up top. They deserve it. That's where they should be. They're going to be a Super Bowl contender once again. Baltimore, I like them. You got Lamar coming off the MVP season, hosted and was favored to win the AFC title game last year before the Chiefs got to him. So you like them as well. From there, though, Buffalo is taking a step back. Again, we'll get to what's going on with Buffalo. Miami, exciting team, but I think Miami is built for the regular season and not the postseason. Mm-hmm. Forget the fact that they had to go into the frigid temperatures last year.
Ridiculous.
If they don't host a playoff game, I think they're in trouble. Yeah. I think the way that they're built. They're exciting. They're going to be a wild card contender at the very least. But, outside of that, I still like Houston. I like Houston better than them. Mm-hmm. I like Houston better than the Jets because they need so much to go right.
Yeah, I'm not looking at the Jets yet.
The Chargers are going to be a contender because of Harbaugh. He's won everywhere he's gone.
You lost your best receiver.
Find another
your
one.
best two receivers. They got Quentin Johnson, who they drafted first round, and
find another.
I could respectfully, I could probably catch better passes right now.
They're gonna have their pick. Marvin Harrison Jr., Neighbors, Adunze.
Yeah.
They're gonna have their pick there at 5 if they really want to go that route.
I think they stay pretty much where they were, even with Jim Harbaugh, even with Justin Herbert. You lose your best receiver. Your best two receivers, obviously, Mike Williams was hurt all the time, but Keenan Allen is a star, is a stud, even though he's a little bit older. They aren't, and Austin Eckler is not there anymore. Yeah. They're making a shift in what they're doing offensively. So I wouldn't be too high on the Los Angeles Chargers right now.
All right, so we still like the Chiefs better. We still like the Ravens better.
Yep.
Are the Texans the third team in the AFC?
Probably.
I think think they are.
Probably. I
don't think that's a stretch.
They're the best team in their division. I'm still not going to believe in the Browns and Deshaun Watson because I don't know what the hell they got going on.
Right.
Pittsburgh, I joke a lot, but I do think they got better. But I would take C.J. Stroud over any quarterback that they have on their roster still, and I think that they're much better. The Dolphins, I agree with you. They're a team that regular season, let's go. Playoff time, and you got to go to Baltimore. You got to go to Kansas City. You got to go to one of these cold weather cities. I don't know where you're going to fare, and we saw that last year. So, Houston, what they did in the offseason, I'm just looking at the Al-Shazir Aziz, who was the leading tackler in Tennessee. They signed him in the offseason. They got Daniil Hunter. They got Stephon Diggs, who was one of the best receivers. They did a fantastic – they got your guy who I know you were happy to see go, and Jeff Okudah. You didn't care. But they got him as well.
Always in position, never makes a play.
Well, he's gonna get coached up now, Anthony. He's gonna get coached up. Arthur Smith, you got him there. He couldn't get him. What are you doing, Arthur? It's your fault.
I think he was the same guy in Detroit too.
All right, well maybe, but no, I think that this team, with what they did last year and the additions that they have made this year, I think they're going to be really good and surprise some people.
Carey Davis, Anthony Stalter's Fast Lane on 101 ESPN. The other side of the coin here is the Bills, and the Bills trading away Stephon Diggs, not bringing back Gabe Davis, making some changes defensively. There's going to be a lot of people that are going to be down on the Bills. I can't blame you. I just mentioned as well. I would be too. But I think they did good here. They got a second-round pick for Stephon Diggs. The Bears got a sixth-rounder for Justin Fields. We have seen other teams that, whether it's a wide receiver or QB, not get market value for that player. Stephon Diggs is a legit number one, but giving up a second-round pick for, I think the Bills did good. Now, it's going to be at the back end, likely, because the Texans are going to be good back in the second round. But they're clearly moving on here. You can make the case that Buffalo, because of the way that they were built from the outside in with the receivers and, smaller defense, they were a dome team. They got pushed around by Cincinnati 2 years ago. That team should be feared in January, and they're not. So I wonder if we're starting to see a shift for Buffalo as well, saying we got to be more physical. We got to build the team around Josh Allen. That will feature also a running game, a defense that's going to be physical and can win close games. I don't hate the direction. It's just we have to see how it plays out now with these draft picks.
Well, Buffalo dealt with some injuries last year. I think that kind of finally bit them in the butt, and they were unable to finish. But they didn't get better offensively by trading Stephon Diggs. You can take whatever you want to. Oh, they got a second-round pick. I don't know who the hell that is going to be, but he ain't going to be Stephon Diggs next year. Yep. So that to me is I know people love getting draft picks in return, and the higher the better. It's great, but when I have a known commodity, I know what Stephon Diggs is going to do and what he's going to be. I much rather have that on my roster than an unknown in a second-round pick that could potentially be something, but it may take a few years for it to come to fruition.
I do wonder, Marsh, though, if this Stephon Diggs, I wonder if the ending was near here.
Oh, Minnesota, for sure.
I mean, there was. I didn't blame him for being frustrated about the way that his team performed.
Yeah.
But at some point, you got to believe that the smoke, where there's smoke, there's fire.
Right.
And I wonder if there's enough fire in Buffalo where you're like, all right, we're just going to move on.
Yeah, for sure. And I don't know if Buffalo is in a position to draft, like Carey was saying, a Justin Jefferson. The Vikings They got lucky. Not that they got lucky. I mean, they did because Philadelphia didn't draft Justin Jefferson, and they were idiots for not doing that.
Hey, they got Jalen Reagor.
Yeah, I was going to say, yeah.
But Buffalo's not in a position to do that.
No, but
Justin Jefferson is
right.
There's not a guy like that in every draft.
You're talking about from Minnesota standpoint. You're right.
Yeah, like I don't know if they can replicate what Minnesota did.
Can you find somebody like George Pickens though? Can you find somebody in the middle rounds where you like it and he's a physical player and he matches more with what Buffalo needs to do in the postseason? Going to be an interesting draft.
Mm-hmm. We did forget about one team in the AFC. It's the Cincinnati Bengals.
Bengals, I think, are going to be good.
They probably are. But again,
there's changes afoot there too.
Because T. Higgins may not. I mean, he wants to be traded.
Higgins,
you're looking at a different team for them as well.
And it's 2 years now. They've lost a lot of talent.
Yeah.
They lost a lot of talent defensively.
Safeties, yep.
They lost both their safeties 2 years ago.
Yes.
This past offseason, like you said, Tyler Boyd, whatever. You can find a third wide receiver. But if you trade T. Higgins, you traded Joe Mixon, you still got to replace that guy. We'll see. You got Burrow and you got Jamar Chase. Yeah. And you got a good coaching staff. So you're well ahead of the game.
Stay healthy.
But Cincinnati has been transitioning here for a couple of years. What's trending is next in the Fast Lane on 101 ESPN. The Missouri Athletic Club is a perfect spot for me as an individual, but also for the family as well. I enjoy going down to the MAC, getting my workout in. A lot of times what I'll do is I'll shower up and then go right to the business center. I'll kind of prep for the radio show there. But I enjoy meeting new people constantly, either people that work there or other club members. It's great. But from a family perspective, man, they have events going on each and every month. Getting close to a holiday, bam, they've got something, a dinner, a brunch, a breakfast. They always have different things that you can involve the family with. They've got other classes too, whether you're looking to work with a trainer to get in shape, or maybe it's tennis lessons or basketball you want to play. They've got it all at the Missouri Athletic Club. That's Miami C.
101 ESPN Sports Center.
I'm Andrew Marsh. It's time for a Sports Center update brought to you by Saliga Heating and Cooling. The Cards go for the sweep today against the San Diego Padres. After one inning of play, they trail 1-0. The Cards will be back in action tomorrow. We'll obviously keep you updated on today's game. Opening day tomorrow. We'll be there at Ballpark Village as the Cardinals take on the Miami Marlins. The Blues also play tomorrow, taking on the Nashville Predators. Pregame starts at 6. Puck drop is at 7. And we'll talk with Jeremy Rutherford at 4:30 to go over some Blues information, including Jimmy Snuggerud and this matchup against the Nashville Predators. We have What's Trending coming up next. I'm Andrew Marsh, and the Sports Center update is brought to you by Saliga Heating and Cooling, independent American Standard heating air conditioning dealer.
It's time to find out what's going on in the sports world with What's Trending Now. Brought to you by Goodwill. Donate a car and get tickets to the St. Louis Cardinals.
Welcome back to the Fast Lane here on 101 ESPN with Anthony Stalter and Carey Davis. I'm Andrew Marsh, and it's time for What's Trending. Gentlemen, Cardinals already losing 1-0. It is the top of the second. Zack Thompson loaded the bases. He has 3 walks already, but ended up striking out to get out of the inning. What have you seen so far from Zack Thompson?
I've seen the reason why you're skeptical, and I've seen the reason why you might be high on him as a future piece of this rotation. Not a top-end starter, but somebody that could be a 3 or 4 for you. So he gets into trouble, walks, he's falling behind hitters. I think only one guy really tagged him, and that was the first at bat of the game. Gives up the run on a walk. It was a close pitch, borderline pitch, but the umpire's not going to give you one if you're all around the strike, if you're not around the strike zone. So gives up the walk, but then he settles in and he gets the batter to swing on a nasty pitch, down and away, off-speed pitch, down and away. That's what you want to see out of Zack Thompson. He's got that ability. But you can't be walking, guys. You can't fall behind hitters. Wound up being an issue last week with the Dodgers, and the Dodgers touched seats 5 times against them. So hopefully he settles down now, and it winds up being a smooth start for him.
Well, you got to see him get out of the inning, put himself in a jam, walked a couple of batters, and then walked home the run, but able to get out of that inning and not have a lot of damage done. And I think, that's the difference. We talked to Kyle Gibson yesterday, and he talked about not walking guys, not putting a guy on. It's a difference between being an older guy, a veteran pitcher, and a younger guy. There are, people don't understand that there are nerves involved. You do get, nervous or concerned or overthrow a pitch or try to be too fine as opposed to saying, you know what, I got guys behind me that can make a play. And just don't give them something right down the middle and let them hit it over the fence. But trust myself, trust my stuff, and put it in a place where my guys behind me can make a play. And I think, that last pitch that he threw with confidence was able to strike the guy out. That's the difference. Once you start believing in your stuff and believing in yourself, no matter the situation that you're in, you'll have more success.
Unfortunately, Joe Musgrove, and it's only 2 innings, but he struggled last week. It's only 18 pitches thus far, but he's got some nasty movement on his pitches today. So the Cardinals, a lot of hacks up there. Clearly, they saw something. They figured he's going to be right around the strike zone, and he has been. But the movement thus far has been very sharp out of Joe Musgrove.
That was their approach yesterday, too. I noticed that they were swinging early, and Darvish had a low pitch count, midway through that game, and then that's when they started to sort of work counts, and then they started hitting the ball really well, and that's when they got him out of the game. So I wonder if they're taking that same approach tonight or today.
I would rather see them take the approach that you just talked about as the game wore on.
Right.
The Dodgers, for all their talents, the Dodgers last night against Logan Webb, who's the Giants' ace, they got him out of the 3rd inning, or the 4th inning. He was like 3 1/3. He had thrown 88, 90 some odd pitches. And it's not like they were tattooing him. They were just working him to death. Mm-hmm. And then got to the Giants bullpen and then wound up, having the hit parade. I would love the Cardinals to have that approach, the Brendan Donovan approach. Mm-hmm. They're comfortable hitting with two strikes. they wind up being Nats 1 through 9 and driving the pitch count up early.
Isn't that difficult though? I mean, you're. I think the philosophy, pitchers are going to try to get ahead on you early, which means probably going to throw a strike early in the count. You want to swing at pitches that are going to be strikes, right? Mm-hmm. You want to swing at pitches that are in the zone, which leads you to maybe getting out and the pitcher having a lower pitch count. But I guess there are two different philosophies on that. Getting down 0-1 and trusting yourself to be able to fight back into a count, or attacking a pitcher early and hopefully getting on base and then rattling him that way.
No, it's a good point. I just think it's great. It's fun to see a team and players that are comfortable hitting with 2 strikes.
Right.
But you're right.
Right.
If you know the guy's going to be around the plate, first 2, he wants to throw. Yachty used to do it all the time. Get ahead curveball.
Right.
Get ahead fastball, and Yachty would just take the pitch, loop one over second baseman head, and all of a sudden you get a leadoff runner on.
Right.
So you're right, it is a fine balance. But if these guys have a good plate approach today against Musgrove, hopefully they get back in this one. But it's only 1-0 early.
Guys, we talked about this earlier in the week, but now Rashee Rice has met with Dallas PD, and he issued an apology on Instagram. In quote, "Today I met with Dallas PD investigators regarding Saturday's incident. I take full responsibility for my part in this matter and will continue to cooperate with the necessary authorities. I sincerely apologize to everyone impacted in Saturday's accident."
Let me reread that for you in my, I take full responsibility. My friends, I leave my keys just laying around, and sometimes I allow them to drive my vehicles. I have to be better and keep better friends around me. And I know going forward, I will not partake in these friends who just take my car while I'm sitting on the couch watching TV. Unfortunately, I wasn't there. Wasn't me.
Yeah.
Did you see me?
No.
Yeah, it wasn't there.
Yeah.
They took my phone too, so when you ping the tower, it's unfortunate.
Damn friends.
Man,
I
gotta get better friends.
I gotta get better friends. That's the problem.
I wasn't there.
Tighter group of tighter circle of friends. That's all this is. Yeah.
Yep.
Interesting, Carey. Interesting.
Wasn't me.
Wasn't me.
No, but in all seriousness, I think, hopefully if he was there and it was not his friends, hopefully he learns from that. Racing, I mean, we see people do it all the time. If you drive down
smart.
70 at times, it's like it's like the Indy 500. But and be safe, because you people stop, people move, things happen quickly. You could have lost your life, or you could have killed somebody like Henry Ruggs did, and be in prison for the next 15, 20 years.
Yeah,
and your career. Your life is altered because you want to race and drive fast. It's not worth it.
Right.
And you probably have enough contacts and enough money. If you want to go somewhere and race, they have places where you could. I'm sure.
Right.
I'm sure there are.
There's one in Illinois, a great
let you
racetrack.
Get out and hit it. Go.
Yeah.
Guys, the women's NCAA Final Four tickets double the price of the men's. The average price paid for a ticket on the resale market this weekend was twice as high for the women's Final Four, according to a technology company that analyzes prices across multiple platforms. I'm not really shocked with all of the Caitlin Clark hype that is going on right now, and it seems like the Final Four this year is a little bit better than last year, but still I think you have UConn, who seems like they're just bullying everybody. They'll probably win again. It'll be another boring run for UConn. They'll probably play NC State.
We'll have to hear Anthony
all
talk
of their
about
national championships that they've won in the 21st century have been against teams that are like,
Why are you against elite?
I got Purdue.
Marsh, why are you against elite?
I got Purdue. Zach Edey.
Purdue's women's not in it. They're not in it.
Talking about men, are we? I mean, you got UConn women and men in.
I just wouldn't think that you would.
UConn was gonna.
I just wouldn't. I wouldn't think that you would, after what UConn did against Illinois, you would.
I'm going with the Big Ten, buddy.
You would fade the Huskies.
I'm going to fade them. I mean, Anthony, listen, I told you, that 30-0 run, it happens all the time in sports. And so I don't understand why you continue to bring it up.
Tell you what, man, the 30-0 to the 30-0 run, that's the worst lead or worst run in all of sports.
It happens, though, right? We see it all the time.
It happened.
It happens.
I'll give you the one.
It happens all the time. I saw that a couple of days ago at a youth game. So it's part of the game. Youth game.
What are the kids? Well, obviously they were kids or youth, but what we're talking about, 8, 7?
10.
10
years.
Okay, all right, 10 years.
30-0 run.
Oh, boy.
It's 30-0.
You're right. It happened. It's Fast Lane on 101 ESPN. We're going to play Are You Sold? We teased it yesterday. Then we did the lineup game. Never went back to it. So we are going to play Are You Sold? So if you have an Are You Sold statement that you want to send to the Air Comfort Service text line, 314-399-9646. We'll play it next. I love R&R Tire Express. They know that buying tires isn't usually the most fun purchase. It's because a lot of times you need them, whether your tires are getting older or you have an accident and you need to replace the tire, one tire or multiple tires. They make it easy, though. They have monthly payments that you can do installs in. You don't have to worry about spending your entire tax refund on brand new tires. And right now through April 20th, if you request a quick quote, R&R will pay half your first month's payment. Half at R&R Tire Express. And when I say quick quote, I mean quick. Talking 60 seconds tops. All you have to do when you go to rnrtires.com is submit your contact info, vehicle year, make and model, and then you're going to secure your half-off offer today. And don't worry, requesting a quote, it's a no-commitment inquiry, so just by requesting a quote doesn't mean you're tied into something. But R&R Tire Express, they offer flexible payment options. Everyone's approved, no credit needed. Plus, you're going to enjoy peace of mind coverage that includes free tire install, free rotations, free flat repair, and more. Let R&R Tire Express team pay half your first month payment now through April 20th, and they just extended this offer. It was April 15th. Now they're extended if it's April 20th. So you can get in on all in-stock tires and wheels when you request a quick quote at rnrtires.com. You can also call 1-833-ROLL-NOW. 1-833-ROLL-NOW. Call them, visit them online, get your quote in, have them pay half your first month's payment at R&R Tire Express.
Time to play Are You Sold in the Fast Lane. If you got an Are You Sold statement, 314-399-9646 is the Air Comfort Service. Text line, Carey Davis. No Jamie Rivers today. Jamie's traveling with the Blues as they get ready to take on the Predators in Nashville tomorrow night. Coverage right here on 101 ESPN. Absolutely. We will talk to Jeremy Rutherford in the 3 o'clock hour, the 4 o'clock hour. And Jake Sutherland of the Battlehawks will join us. He caught the touchdown in the 1-point play in their loss to Michigan last Saturday, so he's going to join us. But time for Are You Sold? What do you got, Marsh?
From the 636, are you sold that Jake Neighbors and Alexei Toropchenko are top 6 forwards starting in the 2024-2025 season?
There's no doubt Jake Neighbors is a top 6 forward. Alexei Toropchenko, we'll see. We'll see what they do with this roster. Are they going to be able to give up some of these contracts or shed some of these contracts? If so, frees up some spots. Maybe they bring in some new guys for the top 6. But Alexei Toropchenko has had a really nice season for them. Jake Neighbors, though, is a no-brainer. He's a top 6 forward.
If they move some contracts, and who's moving? Because you still got Buchnevich.
If you can, yeah.
Do you think they want to trade Buchnevich? Because I think he's.
I don't think they want to, but if you're not going to be able to re-sign him
financially.
Theoretically, you get more for him in the offseason than you would at the trade deadline next year because he would be a rental at the deadline. He'd at least be, well, I guess he's still a rental, but he'd be a rental for a full year,
right?
Not just a couple of months,
right?
But I don't see them trading him.
Okay.
Do you, Marsh?
I don't either. Me personally, I'd rather have Buchnevich than Kyrou.
Oh, hey,
so would I. I don't think that's a stretch at all.
Whoa.
I don't know. Yeah, is that a crazy thing to say?
No, one's a complete player. One's not. I mean, I'm not.
It's crazy.
This isn't me.
I'm not trying to. I'm not Kyrou, but I'd rather have Buchnevich.
Yeah, I'm not being flippant here. Kyrou is. He's not the defender that Buchnevich is.
Yeah, but that's not. I think Jordan Kyrou will be here at least for the next 3 to 4 years.
I'm sure.
Because
you're right,
because if you trade Jordan Kyrou, you're essentially saying I made a mistake.
Well, what's wrong with that? In all seriousness,
in theory, nothing.
Yeah.
But it's hard for people in management to admit, you know what, I screwed that one up. That was bad.
Mm-hmm.
Not a good choice. Robert Thomas, great choice. Kyrou, probably not. And then you have to trade him. And then what do you get in return? Because the theory, I mean, everyone is watching. Everyone sees. So if you're trading a player that you're paying X amount of dollars to, what's the first thing they're going to ask? Well, why are they trading him? Mm-hmm. What's wrong with him?
Sure.
Oh. So you're going to trade something of equal value or something of lesser value back. Right. You're not going to trade something of greater value back. So I think it's hard to trade Jordan Kyrou.
Carey, you're absolutely right. You're going to have to take less than probably what the market would indicate because you're moving on. You're deciding to move on from a player that, he's not a complete player.
Right.
I don't know if he's somebody that is enticing on a legit contender. Mm-hmm. Somebody that's going to be. I mean, maybe maybe I need to hold off a little bit more on this, but.
Just somewhere where the expectations aren't as high, or on a team where you have a 40 or 50 goal scorer and he is a complimentary piece to that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, something to think about. I don't know. You're right though. I don't know if you're going to be able to do that, but it'd be nice.
Jordan Walker he just struck out, and it was a cutter away about a foot outside the zone on an 0-2 count. From the Grant Francis fan club, a.k.a. Sam, our Beat the Streak contestant, are you sold on Jordan Walker one day being an elite hitter?
Well, if we can have Jamie's rules, he just get him a club, a bigger bat, longer bat. That way when he swings at those pitches, he hits them out in right field. I think that needs to be the route. You got to go a little. I mean, you're going to swing at it. You got to get a little bat a little bit longer, and then you won't have those issues.
Is he going to be a stud right out of the gates? No. Is he going to be a quality player out of the gates? Yeah, he showed that a year ago. Are we? It's not easy to hit at the big league level.
No.
He essentially didn't play in AAA. Let's remember that.
he went down last year, but it wasn't for that long.
Right.
He didn't have a full a full season at AAA. He did very well last year. Are there holes in his swing? No question.
Blowing away.
But he's learning on the job, and it's not going to be easy.
Yeah, I feel like he will eventually be an elite hitter. He's going to figure that out. I mean, he understands, and I'm sure every time he swings that, he's like, ah. And so at some point, we've seen him lay off of it, but it looks good to him coming in. Mm-hmm. And then eventually it ends up outside of the zone and he's swinging it. He's already committed. At some point, he'll be able to pick up the spin on it, realize what's being thrown at him, realize how they are attacking him, and lay off of those pitches. And now they do have to groove one to him, and he's going to take it. He's going to take it for a ride. So I think he'll eventually figure it out. He's still young. He's still, we've not even played 162 games in his career yet, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, let's let him develop here. So I guess to answer the question, I'm not sold that he's going to be the again a superstar or I forgot how it was worded. An elite hitter. He's got the skill set. He's got the tools. Am I sold on it? No, we haven't seen it yet.
From the 618, are you sold that Donnie Fandango would have made a better trade for the Bills as a chair GM than the Bills actually did?
Yeah, I'm sold on that. Donnie is he is.
What do you think they're getting though? Donnie's
not
incredible.
He's not trading Diggs. How do you get better by trading your second best player? If you want to say Josh Allen is the best player, how the hell do you become a better team by trading your second best player?
Building the defense, building areas that are going to be really impactful, then circling back to get a wide receiver.
Hold on, I got to check something because I want to know. I didn't check this before we started, so I need to know what is this defender going to be able to have 107 catches, 1,183 yards, and 8 touchdowns.
Carey, I do not
I'm
have
just asking.
No, that defender is not. And you know it.
Then you know damn well we ain't better.
Are you better with if they can pour the resources into, let's just say, getting an elite pass rusher? Would you rather have the elite pass rusher or Stephon Diggs at this point in his career?
Who is your quarterback that you paid millions of dollars to going to get the ball to downfield?
Well, Gabe
Davis is no longer there. Stephon Diggs is no longer there. Rookie receivers scare the hell out of me.
Justin Jefferson wound up being pretty good.
Yeah, that's the exception to the rule.
I'm just saying, Gary.
Him and Randy Moss.
I'm just saying.
It's the Viking purple, Marshy.
Yeah, he'll be gone in a few years.
Marshy is like
will be? Justin Jefferson.
He's
we want to sign you for a long-term contract. Oh, okay, great. Who's going to throw me the ball? Well, Sam Darnold.
Yeah, see ya. Wouldn't want to be ya.
I'm just saying, you're right. He's Stephon Diggs, an excellent player.
You don't get better trading away your best players, man.
Why haven't they gotten over the hump?
Because they need to figure out the other things, not by trading. You want me to believe that I can get better by trading one of my best players. I can find other ways to get better by adding and moving other pieces. I just don't feel like trading one of your best players. The Houston Texans got better because they added Buffalo Bills' best player.
But they already had defenders in place. They didn't need Stephon Diggs, but they added to their roster because they have built a solid roster.
Yeah.
Buffalo kept falling apart of late. At some point, you have to say, okay, why aren't we getting over the hump? I don't think the Buffalo Bills are going to lose next season because of this trade. But I do know that their roster is not built to win in the postseason. They have to get there. Then they can circle back, and you can add a receiver.
They might not get there this year.
They probably won't. But I give them a little bit of credit to saying, hey, what we're doing right now is not working.
Right.
We need a playoff roster, not a regular season roster. They've had a regular season roster. When they're terrible next year, Carey, you can say, Stephon Diggs. And I'll be like, all right, Carey, it's just
Josh
a receiver.
Allen has 20 passing touchdowns and
20 on the ground, which is what he'll probably have anyways. All right, it's Fastlane on 101 ESPN. Do we have a Gauntlet contestant, Marsh, lined up? You good?
We certainly do.
All right.
Matt will join us.
All right, Matt, bring it on. Next on 101 ESPN.
Four warriors, four categories, one challenger. Can you master the Gauntlet?
The Gauntlet is powered by Master, your hometown source for business communications for more than 30 years. Visit mastor.com.
403, your time check is brought to you by Clarkson Jewelers, an officially licensed Rolex jeweler with Carey Davis. I'm Anthony Stalter, and we welcome in Matt to play in the Gauntlet. What's up, Matt?
Hey, what's going on, guys?
Not much. Appreciate you joining us today. First time?
I was on Gauntlet 1.0, and I absolutely crushed BT.
Nice.
And then I came back the next day, and Jamie humbled me.
Okay. That'll happen.
It happens.
All right, Matt. No BT, no Jamie. So would you like to take on Marsh, Carey, or me?
I'm going to go with Carey.
Oh,
Carey,
right.
Dave. Carey Davis. Carey Davis. All right. Carey's going to make his way into the cone of silence. Matt, you're going to tell Andrew Marsh to spin that wheel. Go ahead.
Spin that wheel, Marshy.
What are we hoping for here, Matt?
Not football.
Not
Other
football.
than that, I don't really care.
Okay. Well, obviously, I mean, if you crush BT, you're probably good in baseball, I would imagine.
That's probably my strongest.
And if
one.
you were confident to pick Jamie second, you must feel okay about hockey. So, Marsh, without further ado.
Baseball is the category.
All right, there you go. 4 baseball questions to Matt. Same 4 baseball questions will go to Carey. Each question is worth 2 points unless Matt or Carey ask for the options. Those questions will become worth 1 point if they get it right. Are you ready, Matt?
Ready to go.
All right, question 1. Who belted the Majors' first home run of the 2023 season? So who hit the first home run last year in Major League Baseball?
I'll need the options.
Matt Olson, Salvador Perez, Aaron Judge.
Let's go with Aaron Judge.
Final answer?
Final answer.
I know who hit the first one this year. It's Mike Trout.
It certainly was. Question number 2.
That's not the question, Marsh.
That is not the question.
Yeah. All right.
Question number 2. The New Busch Stadium hosted the 80th MLB All-Star Game on July 14th, 2009. Can you name the MVP of that Midsummer Classic?
2009. I feel like Prince Fielder comes to mind, but I don't think it was that year, so I'll need the options.
Options are Carl Crawford, Adam Jones, or Josh Hamilton.
Let's go with Josh Hamilton.
Final answer?
Final answer.
Question 3, Matt. Who was the manager for Team USA in the inaugural World Baseball Classic?
I think it was a former catcher. It's can I have the options, please?
Sure. Joe Madden, Buck Martinez, or Joe Torre?
One way off. Let's go with Joe Madden.
Final answer?
Final answer.
Final question for you. On September 6th, 1995, whose record did Cal Ripken Jr. break for most consecutive games played?
Wasn't it Joe DiMaggio? Let's go with Joe DiMaggio.
Final answer?
Final answer.
All right, let's bring back Carey from the Cone of Silence. Matt, how you feeling?
Those were tough.
They were, a couple of them were real tough. All right, Carey Davis, walking back in.
It's kind of fast.
You know what that means?
What are you feeling?
Pack a lunch.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you better.
You just decided to pack your own lunch.
I just did. I usually do. I left it in the office.
Okay. Carey, your category today is baseball.
Okay.
Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Question number 1. Who belted the Majors' first home run of the season last year?
Options.
Matt Olson, Salvador Perez, Aaron Judge.
Let's go Matt Olson. Final answer.
Question number 2. The New Busch Stadium hosted the 80th MLB All-Star Game on July 14th, 2009. Can you name the MVP of that Midsummer Classic?
I feel like I know, but give me the options, please.
Options are Carl Crawford, Adam Jones, or Josh Hamilton.
Okay. Carl Crawford. Final answer.
Question 3. Who was the manager for Team USA in the inaugural World Baseball Classic?
You got a year?
Nope. No, I do not.
Options, please.
Joe Madden, Buck Martinez, Joe Torre.
That's why I needed a year.
I don't have one.
Oh, man. So Joe or Joe, huh?
Joe, Buck, or Joe? Joe Torre, Joe Madden, Buck Martinez.
I just said Joe Buck. I don't know.
No, it's not Joe Buck. No. That'd be interesting,
I heard that
but no.
too. I was like, what?
Did I say that?
Well, you said Joe, Buck, Joe.
Yeah. Confused.
Joe Madden, Buck Martinez, or Joe Torre?
Let's go Joe Madden. Final answer.
All right. Sorry if I confused anybody there.
Final question, CD. On September 6th, 1995, whose record did Cal Ripken Jr. break for most consecutive games played?
Was it the Iron Horse? Lou Gehrig. Final answer.
All right. Let's go over these. Question 1. Who belted the Majors' first home run of the 2023 season? Matt, with the options, you went Aaron Judge. Carey, with the options, you went Matt Olson. Correct answer is...
It is Aaron Judge.
Matt's got himself a 1-0 lead. The new Busch Stadium hosted the 80th MLB All-Star Game on July 14th, 2009. Can you name the MVP of that Midsummer Classic? Matt, with the options, you said Josh Hamilton. Carey, with the options, you said Carl Crawford. Correct answer is...
It is Carl Crawford.
Nice job, Carey. Ties things up. You got a 1-1 game. Who's the manager for Team USA in the inaugural World Baseball Classic? You both went with Joe Madden after hearing the options. Correct answer is...
Buck Martinez.
Let's get Buck Wild, people. Buck Martinez. Buck. I would have got that one because I would have chose the outlier. That's the only reason why I've gotten that one. So we're all tied up 1-1. Comes down to this. On September 6, 1995, whose record did Cal Ripken Jr. break for most consecutive games played? Carey, you went Lou Gehrig. Matt, you went Joe DiMaggio. If it's Joe DiMaggio, Matt wins. If it's Lou Gehrig, Carey wins. Matt?
You have chosen poorly.
You lose. Not today.
It was, of course, Lou Gehrig, not Joe DiMaggio. Tough break, Matt. That was the question that cost you in the end. Sorry, man.
No, I knew that, but then I thought of his disease, and I was like, oh, he didn't play that long, and then,
You got, hey, sometimes it happens. You're on the spot, you're on the radio, but he's listening, friends and family and all that. I get it, Matt. So better luck next time. Thanks for listening. Thanks for playing today.
Thanks, guys. See ya.
Take care. That's Matt here in the Fast Lane on 101 ESPN. Nice job, Carey.
Thank you, sir.
There we go. 3-1 win. Carey. Nice little streak for Carey here.
Thanks, sir.
Yeah. By the way, the Cardinals have cut into the Padres' lead. It's now 2-1 in the top of the fourth inning. I saw Willson Contreras stand on second. I'm assuming he got a double.
He did, down the line.
Double down the line for Willson Contreras. And then Nolan Arenado drove him in. Little bloop out in the outfield, slow roller.
Little Texas leaguer.
Had enough spin on that puppy to get Willson Contreras in, who was running on contact, and it's now 2-1 in the top of the fourth. Arenado is at first, and Nolan Gorman is at the dish. In 20 minutes or so, we'll talk to Jeremy Rutherford about some Blues hockey as they get ready to take on the Nashville Predators tomorrow night. But a little Cardinals next. Has Victor Scott done enough to stay in the majors? I think everybody would say yes. But if you look at the roster construction and when guys come back, is the answer obvious? That's next on 101 ESPN.
going to be a special one on Thursday for Vic, among others.
Smoke toward right center. Get down ball. It is down. Tatis, a good job to cut it off. Victor on his way to second. The throw is late. Hustle double, Victor Scott.
That was Chip Carey on the call for Valley Sports, but actually may not have recognized the voice. He has the fast lane.
The fast lane
voice
flu.
going on. Yeah, the fast
Whatever
lane
we
flu.
had.
Fortunately, got to Chip Carey. By the way, we had the first question, the Gauntlet. Who belted at the Majors' first home run in the 2023 season? It was Aaron Judge. I said, I remember who hit the first one this year. It's Mike Trout. It wasn't. Manny Machado did so overseas.
And thank you to the text line.
Thank you to the text
letting
line.
us know.
Yeah, so that's my fault. Clarifying that. Yeah, I remember Mike Trout hitting it on opening day here in America. Where, baseball is often played. Baseball's played everywhere, so I guess I can't really say that. But
Anthony, I forgive you.
Thanks. I appreciate that, Marsh. Victor Scott, has he done enough to stay in the majors? I think collectively, most Cardinals fans would say yes. Victor Scott this year, while he's only hitting 130, you could tell he plays well defensively. He is somebody that has that speed element to the Cardinals lineup. You can't expect a kid to come up and hit 300 right away. I want him to play good defense. I want him to bring the speed. That's what he's done. But things get a little complicated, Carey, because eventually Lars Nootbaar will come off the IL, and he'll be inserted in the outfields. So that brings one element to the game. The other, though, would be Tommy Edman, when Tommy Edman returns. So what do? Well, if Victor Scott is still struggling from like an average standpoint, I don't expect the defense of the speed to falter, but speed is one element that doesn't slump. But if he is not doing enough offensively when everybody's healthy, do you send him down?
You know what's interesting is he may be able to actually stay, but not for the reasons that we thought he would. Like, I think if Masyn Winn continues to hit, we talked about this. We one of the concerns was having two guys potentially not having success at the plate. And you're looking at that and you're saying, oh, man, this is
two young guys.
Young guys, right? Those two, Masyn Winn and Victor Scott. But if Masyn Winn continues to hit,
when he's in the game,
when he plays, like you gotta play him. I don't know, but
he does every other game.
Well, that's not good enough. If he continues to hit, then you may say, okay, instead of having two guys at the back of our lineup, we only have one who's not performing, and what he does defensively is more than enough to say, you know what, we'll keep him in this lineup. If Lars Nootbaar comes back, who's playing center field? Is it Lars? Because you're not going to get as much. Lars is a great baseball player, but he's not the center fielder that Victor Scott II is.
When Lars comes back, I'd put him in left, Victor Scott's in center, and Jordan Walker in right.
If you're talking about sending Victor Scott down,
right.
And so you still would have Brendan Donovan in left field. Now you're putting Lars Nootbaar in center?
I think Michael Ciani's probably the one that goes down.
So if you're talking about Lars, Marsh is right. If you're talking about when Lars comes back, Superbad's going down.
Correct. But when I'm talking about in the lineup specifically, who do you put in center field if you're saying that Victor? So you're not sending Victor Scott down?
I'm not sending Victor Scott down at all. What I posed the question of when Nootbaar comes back and eventually Tommy Edman comes back. If Victor Scott, let's just say he's hitting $120, is that good enough to keep him up? That is my question.
Well,
Higgy just went to the Padres.
We got quiet.
Everybody got quiet. Marsh got disgustingly quiet. Carey got
take a deep breath.
Yeah. So Kyle Higgy, former Yankees catcher,
73 pitches in 4 innings.
That's only the 4th inning.
It's only the 4th inning.
He's battling.
I'm trying to be positive here.
So 3-1 Padres.
Well, I think he stays in the lineup regardless, and I think it's going to be. I would like for him when he gets on base, he's problematic for the opposing team. So. However you have to get on, even when he lays down a sacrifice bunt, there's a real fear that he could potentially be on and bunting for a hit. So I'm comfortable with him right now, despite what he's not doing at the plate, because I think that it'll come along. His swing looks good. He's made some contact. He's hit some balls really hard. He just had some bad luck. So eventually he's going to hit those balls. He's going to find a gap, or it's going to be, with his speed, he's going to be able to make some plays happen just based off of that.
I wonder if he is playing well, and let's say the team is playing well, and they're playing small ball. They're finding ways to climb back into games. Like today, they could play some small ball, and they're only down by 2 runs, and perhaps they end up winning today's game, and they find ways to win because of that. To me, that's very difficult to send a guy like that down, or at least take him out of the lineup, because now I'm starting to see an identity with this team. Yeah. Now, we're only a few games into the season, but I'm seeing that identity of if we're down a run or two, let's manufacture some runs, and then we'll rely on our big guys to put us ahead. Exactly what we saw last night. Mm-hmm. And I wonder if you take him out of the lineup and you throw Tommy Edman in there. Yes, Tommy Edman can do those things, but I just wonder if that sort of changes your identity from an offensive standpoint.
Yeah, who do you want to be, right? That's a good point. Who do you want to be? Forget developing an identity. Who do you want to be based on your roster?
I want to be a team that can play small ball and plays great defense behind my pitching staff,
and still has a power
and
element,
has still has the ability to leave the yard.
I think what you have right now, at least on paper, is that identity. You have the elements for that identity.
This is a off-the-wall question, and I'm sure a lot of people will say no, and you guys might say no as well. Let's say Tommy Edman comes back, a couple months into the season. Jordan Walker's not doing well. Mm-hmm. Do you send Jordan Walker down to AAA to get some at-bats, much like what we saw last season?
If he's chasing every single slider and cutter off the plate, and he's pounding the ball into the ground consistently, then yes, you have to entertain it.
So, but my question is he going to see that level of pitching in AAA where they are able to have that command? So what good does it do? If you're sent down because you're struggling with chasing sliders and you're not going to see a slider away from a minor league pitcher to that degree, what good is sending him down doing? What are you working on?
Yeah.
How are you getting better if the thing you need to get better at you can't see? Mm-hmm. So for me, sending him down would almost be pointless unless you know that this staff or this road trip has pitchers that they are able to throw this pitch and have success with it, and he's going to face it. Other than that, if you're not facing those pitches, you're not getting better at the thing you don't do well. You're just reinforcing the things you already do well.
All right, I'll leave. Yeah. Marsh. No, it's fine. No, Carey made his point.
Marsh, hang tight on that.
You guys have, I'll give you JR's number.
No.
This is how the phone works.
You just
don't leave. Nobody knows how to run the board.
No, it's fine.
I did it like 20 years ago.
I've never done it.
Dude, Carey sits over there. He looks over there. He doesn't know what he's doing.
I'll stay. I'll go sit in the corner, okay?
No, there is a simple explanation for that. One, you're right, and halfway through the sentence there, you were like, to that level.
Right.
You're right, because he's still going to face good pitching at AAA, and they're going to still have the same scouting report. But to that level, no. But there is a simple explanation for that. You're trying to win games.
Yeah.
So if Jordan Walker is struggling to the point, and again, we're not talking about what he's done thus far. Mm-hmm. Marsh kicked the can down the road. If he's the one that's struggling mightily, and there isn't much improvement, you're winning. You're winning games at the big league level.
Right.
Wins and losses matter. Jobs are at stake. So that is why you would do it. It wouldn't become just about the development of Jordan Walker. It would be about, is he unfortunately hurting the rest of the team?
We have a couple other names to throw out there as well. Burleson. Some people want Burleson to be sent down. And also DC, Dylan Carlson. When he comes back, what does this roster look like?
Yeah, you have some options. Super bad would be number one. Mm-hmm. Right, and then what do you do? Somebody would be sent down because you're not at that point. You're not DFAing anybody.
You got. I mean, it's gonna be interesting to see.
Yeah.
I mean, I could watch Victor Scott play defense all day. Like, he just ran in on the ball, realized that he may have misjudged it, jumped up and made a hell of a play.
Yep.
Like, I can watch him play because he's so athletic and so gifted that he can correct some of the mistakes that he may make. He doesn't look like a young player in the outfield. And again, if this is a team that has 0 errors through the first 6 games, which is best in Major League Baseball, that's what you need. You need a sound defense. If one person, because we watched it, Yadier Molina was not always a great hitter, but he was great behind the plate.
Yeah.
And you could trust him to get everything set up, get the pitching staff the way that they needed to be. Your center fielder is a key component to having success in the outfield on defense. And if you have to I mean, we like Tommy Edman. I don't know what his arm is going to look like, what he feels like, what his wrist is going to be when he returns.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know I don't know if Dylan Carlson is going to be healthy enough when he returns, or if he's going to hit. And if they're both hitting at the same level, I'm taking Victor Scott.
Sure.
And if Lars Nootbaar is the one that returns before everyone else, I don't trust him more than Victor Scott in center field.
Mm-hmm.
So it becomes a question of which do you value more, the great defense or the potential for offense at the plate.
Yeah. I'd rather go with the defense at that point, but it is early enough in the season. If you wanted to go offense, I would understand the move. Eventually, though, I'm siding with pitching and defense.
And who knows if Tommy Edman will even be healthy as the season rolls around.
Watch your mouth. Yeah. Jeremy Rutherford will join us next. We'll talk a little Blues hockey with him, get his perspective on Snuggerud and the decision that he made. I know that JR was tweeting about it yesterday, so get his thoughts. Also talk about the Blues Predators matchup. All next with our guy Jeremy Rutherford, our Blues insider with The Athletic here on 101 ESPN. You've heard Jamie and I talk about mentality and all the benefits of mentality. You've heard us talk about the increased energy, the increased focus, even the mental clarity. But it started because we actually went in and we talked to mentality. We sat down with them. We sat down with their board certified experts, and we talked to them about what was going on. And if you are a man in your 40s, 50s, 60s, and you're like, hey, man, I know I got way more production out of my day than what I'm seeing. I'm tired all the time. I just, I don't have the motivation to do something. I feel that way. And Jamie was talking to somebody recently, about those very symptoms. And he asked him about mentality. And Jamie said, look, yeah, just go down there. It's up to you. What do you want to do something about it? Do you want to take care of yourself, or do you want to keep chasing your tail by making all these corrections that aren't working, or chasing supplements that don't work? A lot of times you're buying a lot of supplements, you're paying a bunch of money for it, and again, you're not getting the benefits out of it. Go have them check. Go have them check you out. Sit down. Talk to them about what you're feeling like, and mentality will run all the tests with you. If you are low on testosterone, you are low on and deficient in certain vitamins like Jamie and I were, they got the program for you. It works. Jamie and I are proof of it. So head down to Mentality, 2 locations, South County or out in Chesterfield. You also visit them at lowtusa.com. But again, do something for yourself that's going to lead to healthy benefits. Mentality.
101 ESPN Sports Center.
I'm Andrew Marsh. It's time for a Sports Center update driven by Johnny Londoff Chevrolet and Johnny Londoff Autoplex. The Cardinals trailed the San Diego Padres 3-1 in the top of the 5th inning. We'll continue giving you updates on that one. The Blues take on the Nashville Predators tomorrow night. Pregame starts at 6. Puck drop is at 7. Jimmy Snuggerud announced yesterday that he will head back to Minnesota for his junior year, and we will dive into that next with our Blues insider from The Athletic, Jeremy Rutherford. I'm Andrew Marsh, and the Sports Center update is driven by Johnny Londoff. Find new roads and shop 24/7 at londoff.com and londoffautoplex.com. Are you kidding me?
Notes and nuggets. It's time for the Rutherford Report with our Blues insider, Jeremy Rutherford. Brought to you by Scott Lee Heating Company, a proud Mitsubishi Electric Elite contractor.
It's a Fast Lane on 101 ESPN with Carey Davis. I'm Anthony Stalter. No Jamie Rivers today. Jamie's traveling with the Blues as they get ready to take on the Predators. Speaking of the Blues, our guy Jeremy Rutherford joins us right now at JP Rutherford online. Joins us via the 101 ESPN Celebrity Line. Great stuff at The Athletic. JR, how's your week going, buddy?
It's going really well until I heard Marshy say send Walker down. Wait, come on, Marshy, get that stuff out of here.
Oh, yeah, my bad.
In fairness to Marsh, Walker just grounded into a double play to end the inning, so I think Marsh is on to something.
Get him out of here.
Yeah, I think he's on to something. Hey, why doesn't Snuggerud like the Blues, JR?
I always say this, but you sound like my Twitter feed right now.
I try to capture your Twitter feed as much as possible. No, in all seriousness, what do we need to know about this situation with him going back to Minnesota for next year?
Yeah, first of all, so the announcement came out yesterday, right? And I talked to Jimmy a couple minutes after the announcement became official. And before I say anything, I got to say this, guys. I don't know how the Blues are finding such great character kids, or else there's a lot of kids out there with character because, you know, the Jake Neighbors, the Alexei Toropchenkos, and there's others in that Blues locker room. And I was so impressed talking to Jimmy Snuggerud yesterday for 15 minutes about his decision. You know, first of all, he explained it in great detail. I think things that people need to know, if you didn't read the story at The Athletic, is that his family has extreme ties to Minnesota. His grandpa played at Minnesota with the Gophers. His dad lost a national championship in 1989 in overtime at Minnesota. Jimmy himself lost a national championship last year. So he wants to win a national championship for Minnesota. And secondly, a lot of times, Carey, you know this, when you talk to athletes, sometimes the reporters got to ask him, so what happened to your game the past few weeks or months? You know, what's going on with your game? He volunteered all that, guys. He said, I need to be better. I was not there for my teammates. I know there are some things that I can work on, that I can be better next year at the University of Minnesota, and I will be better for the St. Louis Blues if I stick around. So I thought it was a really thorough explanation that he provided, and he put a lot of thought into this before he made the decision.
JR, did you get a sense of how hard the decision was for him based on, you know, obviously going pro, making money, or going back to college and chasing after a national championship?
Yeah, in his words, he said this was the hardest decision of my life by far, not even close. And you could kind of sense that talking to him. So obviously they lost to Boston University last week in the regional, could have made it to the Final Four in St. Paul. You know, that would have been a hometown thing for the team. And for him. But he said that the 4.5-hour bus ride from Sioux Falls back to Minnesota was tough. You're thinking about the decision. The next day you wake up, you're talking to your agent, you're talking to the University of Minnesota coach, and then also he heard from the Blues. And make no mistake, the Blues wanted him to come to the NHL and join the team right away. There's been a lot of discussion the past couple weeks, months. Do they want to burn a year of that entry-level contract? Do they want to send him to Springfield and play on a tryout? No, they wanted him to play in the NHL. They wanted him to play right now. And in Jimmy's words again, he said, 12-year-old Jimmy would be saying to myself, what are you thinking? Why are you not doing this? But in the end, I felt like this was the best decision.
JR, is it out of the realm of possibility that we could also see a Logan Cooley situation? Last year, he said he was going back to Minnesota. and that was in May. And then in July, he signed with the Coyotes. Is there a chance that this could also happen with Jimmy Snuggerud?
So it's a great question, and I've been asked that before because Logan Cooley, after saying he was going to stay, did leave. You know, as we sit here today, after talking to Jimmy for 15 minutes yesterday, I don't see anything like that happening. You know, not only did he talk to the Blues about the opportunity and talk to other people, but he also talked to the University of Minnesota hockey coach, Bob Moskow, and Bob told him that I think he's got a chance to wear the C next year. They lost their captain, Jackson Nelson, the defenseman who signed with the Boston Bruins. And so the C is vacant for right now for University of Minnesota, and I think they talked about that leadership role for him. So I think that's a fair question. And in a month, when you guys say, "Hey, I thought you said he wasn't going to leave," I don't think that's on his mind right now.
Jeremy Rutherford is our Blues insider with The Athletic. He joins us right now in the fast lane on 101 ESPN. JR, as we look ahead to tomorrow night's game, we know that Drew Bannister made a bunch of changes ahead of the Edmonton matchup. Those obviously worked out well, and we got Binnington playing as well as he has. Man, it really doesn't matter sometimes who you have in front of him. But what do you foresee any changes going into Nashville, or do you think Drew Bannister largely sticks with the same forwards and defensive pairings?
Yeah, so it looks like there could be a couple changes, one based on potential illness. Kevin Hayes came up sick last night or this morning and did not practice today. They said they were going to check on him before they got on the flight to Nashville. I'm not sure who got on that flight, but we'll find out more about Kevin Hayes. If he's not playing, I think Bolduc slides in. He skated on that line in practice today. But I think there will be one change for sure on the back end. It looks like Matt Kessel will be in, perhaps Scandella out. It looks like Kessel and Tucker will be in that third defensive pair. Drew Bannister really liked what he saw in Tyler Tucker, the physicality, the pushback, and I think they want to have that in that Nashville game. So it looks like Kessel and Tucker, as I said, in that third pair.
JR, you mentioned earlier about the young guys and how mature they are and how the Blues are finding these guys. Do you get a chance to talk to many of the guys about a guy like Jake Neighbors, who is tied for the team lead in goals, and how well he's performing at a young age?
Yeah, they love him. They love his work ethic. They love his willingness to do what we've talked about for months now about Jake Neighbors is go to the front of the net. And this is something that I've talked to Chris Kerber about, and maybe Kerber's mentioned it on the air. I'm not sure, but just being a fly on the wall in the Blues locker room, walking around, just doing the work and the job that we do, you can see the interaction with the players. And there are always players interacting with Jake Neighbors. And a lot of times it is the veterans. And he looks like a veteran as he sits there and talks to them. And, you know, they whether they're talking X's and O's or they're telling jokes, he just looks like he fits. So, I mean, you can go through that entire Blues locker room, pick out any veteran you want to talk to, go up and ask him about Jake Neighbors, and you're going to get nothing but positive about the way he carries himself.
JR, the Blues take on the Nashville Predators tomorrow night. The Blues sit 6 points behind Nashville for that first wild card spot. Both the Predators and the Kings have lost 3 games in a row. When you look at both of the teams that are ahead of the Blues, if you had to pick one, which team do you think the Blues have a better chance of catching? Because I look at the Nashville Predators schedule, and the rest of the way is no easy task for them either.
Yeah, it's not. They have a chance to catch both just because you look at the standings, and there's an L3 next to both of those two teams, the Nashville Predators and the Los Angeles Kings. They've both lost 3 in a row. The Predators do have the harder schedule than the Kings, as you mentioned, but I think, with the way that Nashville's played down the stretch, it just seems like after getting points in 18 straight and now losing 3, that they're going to be able to pull things together. We'll see tomorrow night. It's a huge game, not only for the Blues, but also for the Nashville Predators. And then you look at L.A., and L.A. is a team like the Blues that doesn't have a schedule that looks too difficult. They got Seattle tonight, San Jose, and then their tough one is Vancouver, and then they wrap up with Anaheim, Calgary, Anaheim again, Minnesota, and Chicago. But if you look at the points, it looks like L.A. projects out to 98 points is what they could get if they just went 5-2-1 down the stretch. So the Blues are going to have to at least go 6-1, maybe even win them all 7 to put themselves in a chance to catch LA. So, we've been breaking down the schedules. You're projecting the point totals, doing a lot of things with the math here down the stretch. But the bottom line is the Blues don't have any wiggle room at all. It's got to be 6-1, 7-0 down the stretch if they're going to want to catch one of these guys.
Jared, great stuff, man. We'll talk to you again next week. Have a good rest of your week.
You guys too. Thanks.
Thank you. Jeremy Rutherford here in the Fast Line on 101 ESPN. Yeah, interesting stuff overall with the schedule, the way things break out. The Blues will take on the Predators tomorrow night, pregame right here on 101 ESPN starting at 6 o'clock as they take on the Predators at Bridgestone Arena. Guys, if they have that same effort that they did against Edmonton, things are good. We've seen an effort like they had against the Sharks in the second period, and things not so good.
That's the thing about this team. We have no idea which team is going to show up. Mm-hmm. They're like cats, as Jamie said yesterday.
Absolutely. Yep. And if you missed that, you can always download the podcast, available at 101ESPN.com, your 101 ESPN mobile app, all brought to you by Dobbs Tire Auto Centers. Prove Me Wrong is next. Carey and I, we're down a lawyer, but Carey and I let's see what we can do as we step into the Honorable Andrew Marsh's courtroom. If you have a Prove Me Wrong statement that you want to send into the Air Comfort Service text line, you can do so at 314-399-9646. Prove Me Wrong, next.
Anthony, the sports calendar is loaded, and FanDuel is making it even more exciting to get in on the action because right now, new customers, that's right, if you're new, you can get $200 in bonus bets with any winning $5 bet. That's $200 to use on the tourney, MLB, NBA, NHL, and so much more. Hockey, about to start the playoffs here soon. NBA, about to start the playoffs soon. The tournament, near the end.
Let's go, UConn.
Let's not go UConn.
All right, at some point
But you can bet on whatever you want. If you want to bet on Anthony's Huskies or his San Jose Sharks, you can do that too.
No, it's not. Come on, Carey, with the stupid Sharks. FanDuel.com/fast. Again, FanDuel.com/fast. You can make your first bet a big win, but you do got to use our promo code FAST. FanDuel, America's #1 sports book. Final Four, like Carey was saying. He's going for Purdue now, but if you want to go with a team that will cut down the nets, again, you go for UConn. If you want to do baseball, hockey, NBA, it's all available at FanDuel. Must be 21 or older and present in Illinois. First online real money wager only. $10 first deposit required. Bonus issued is not withdrawable bonus bets that expire 7 days after receipt. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Prove me wrong, kids. Prove me wrong.
Carey Davis, Anthony Stalter, jumping into the courtroom. Andrew Marsh, judge, jury, executioner for Prove Me Wrong.
Oh, the Honorable.
The Honorable Andrew Marsh. Absolutely. All right, Marsh, what's our first case?
All right, so we just talked about Jimmy Snuggerud with Jeremy Rutherford, our Blues insider from The Athletic. From the 618, Prove Me Wrong. Jimmy Snuggerud will pull a Cutter Gauthier. And if you remember what Cutter Gauthier did, he said he did not want to play for the Philadelphia Flyers.
And then got himself traded.
Well, here's the thing. I mean, Jimmy Snuggerud seems to me to be a man of honor. He's going back to Minnesota because he wants to finish what he started. He wants to win a championship, unlike his grandfather and his father, who were unable to do so. He wants to bring the legacy of the Snuggeruds for a championship in Minnesota. And how can any of us be disrespectful to that? And when that is done, when that work is done, Anthony, he will move on and become one of the top line forwards for your St. Louis Blues.
Yeah, did you not hear Jeremy Rutherford talking about
the toughest decision he ever had to make in his life?
The character
honor
of one, Jimmy Snuggerud.
He's got a great character. Great honor. Honorable.
You know, I'm not a big fan of the Minnesota Golden Gophers for obvious reasons.
Absolutely.
But I am a fan of Jimmy Snuggerud, and I think he is a man of his word, much like what Carey said.
Nice job, Carey.
This one is going to be interesting. From the 636, Prove Me Wrong. The Green Bay Packers will win the NFC and be NFC champions.
Going to be difficult to do that when the San Francisco 49ers still exist and the Detroit Lions still exist within their own division, Carey.
Yeah, that's...
Do I like the Packers? Sure. Jordan Love came on big time last year, but last time I checked, the Detroit Lions weren't really losing anything, and they were still ascending. In fact, if they had a slightly better second half, they'd be in the Super Bowl. That's how good the Lions are.
They're spectacular.
San Francisco 49ers still stacked. Eagles reloading. And who can forget about Kirky Cousins going down to Atlanta to play for a team that won 7 games last year? You tell me Kirky Cousins, old regular season Kirk, isn't good for another 3 wins for Atlanta? You got a better NFC overall this year. I respect the Pack, but they're not winning the conference. No way in hell.
No Pack, no, Anthony.
That's true. I forgot the honorable judge is a Minnesota Viking fan. There's no way he was going to vote for that.
No, that one was dead before it was read.
Yeah.
From the 618, Prove Me Wrong, Anthony will be a Dodgers fan come October. Laughing emoji.
Anthony bleeds Cardinal red. I mean, he lives and dies with this pitching staff, almost literally. He's a guy that really wants the success. I mean, last I checked, you were having dinner with the DeWitts a couple of weeks ago. I know you really ride or die with this Cardinals team. And be a Dodgers fan. He was so frustrated that first series. He's the guy that said the Dodgers paid for their team. Yeah. It's not how you get a team.
Mikolas used my comments.
Yeah, that was you.
Yeah, Mikolas was at the table behind us.
Checkbook team. He overheard you.
He overheard me
when you were eating with the DeWitts, and he said, "You know what? I'm going to use that." And you were unable to use it first because he took it. But
I let him take it because he's a Cardinal.
And you love what?
Cardinals.
There you go.
If I don't love the Cardinals, I hate the Dodgers. There's no question about it. Yeah, I hate the Dodgers more than I love the Cardinals.
But
This is an interesting one because we did see Anthony Stalter, the Anthony Stalter, hop on a bandwagon of an NFL team that is, at this point in time, the best team in the NFL. We saw that during the playoffs, nonetheless. So, to me, I feel like it could happen again. It could. It very well could with the Dodgers.
Judge,
No. I've already heard enough from you.
I just got new information.
No, I'm not done yet.
The Dodgers aren't in the Bay Area either.
They're not.
There you go.
But what I was going to say is that Anthony keeps this team accountable, whether or not the listeners think that you do.
Yeah.
I think you do. And for that, I'll give you the ding.
Proud of you.
Thank you. Proud of you, Carey. Nice job. Proud of you, Judge.
I almost gave you the X when you were trying to step in there. I was trying to save you.
I just got new information. Yeah, but thank you, Judge.
Yeah. From the 636, Prove Me Wrong, Willson Contreras was never the problem. Jack Flaherty being on his 3rd team in 2 years shows that he was more of a problem than anyone else involved in that situation.
Tell you what the problem was. The problem was that Yadier Molina was so great that it didn't matter who stepped in next. They weren't going to be Yadier Molina. Mm-hmm. And when you're used to working with Yadi, when you're Waino or you're Miles Mikolas, or even if you're Jordan Montgomery and you're coming in for what accounted for just under a year, and you're working with Yadi, and you understand how great he is, anybody that steps in that role is going to be like, he's not Yadi. That was the problem. Wasn't Yadier Molina. Mm-hmm. Is Jack Flaherty a problem? There's no question about it. His attitude, his face, his lack of durability.
Dark Knight meme video he did when he first
you're not even the Dark Knight, okay?
Yeah.
Last guy that claimed to be a Dark Knight, he stunk too.
I actually think he was claiming to be the Joker.
Oh, yeah.
Either way, the Joker doesn't fare well in most battles with Batman. Yep. Either way, I digress. The problem was nobody was going to be effective when it comes to replacing Yadier Molina.
So it wasn't just Jack Flaherty, it was Yadier Molina.
Yeah.
Not being there.
Correct.
Okay.
All right, thank you.
Sure.
I had to tiptoe around that.
You did, yeah.
It was a good statement. It was a good statement. It was a good case.
You've
did a great job.
Some close calls today and proved me wrong. From the 314, prove me wrong, C.J. Stroud will become the youngest player to get 5,000 yards passing.
The youngest player to
Have you not heard of Jordan Love? I mean, you are, never mind.
Yeah, no. Jordan Love's a little bit older,
He's
too.
a little bit older.
That's
the wrong team.
Yeah.
My head.
Have you not heard of Caleb Love?
Caleb Love,
no, he's going to be a bear.
Player. Yeah. Caleb Williams is the one that we want to talk about because in that division, playing against...
No, we don't, because he's a bear.
God.
Let's see here.
Anthony Richardson. For the Indianapolis Colts. Michael Pittman re-signed. I just think that
games,
in that division against those defenses. Yeah.
Caleb Love.
Yeah. Let's just stop.
Yeah. Yeah. Judge.
It was a good run. You guys had a good run.
Clearly our client is guilty.
Yeah.
He admitted it, so you got the tape.
Yes, you do.
Yeah. All right, we're going to talk to Jake Sutherland of the Battlehawks. Taking the L last week, but Jake Sutherland played very well, scored a touchdown, got a conversion as well that should have won it for him. So Jake's going to join us next. Kind of a fun fact, too, about Jake Sutherland that we'll share with him. And we'll chat about the Battlehawks' upcoming game as well with the tight end here on 101 ESPN. I don't mind this time of year because when the rains come and the temps warm up a little bit, even though there are weeds and crabgrass at certain parts of my lawn, I know that Green Envy's all over it. And all I have to do is mow and trim and do all the fun stuff. Green Envy, they do a tremendous job for my lawn, taking care of the stuff that I don't want to. I don't have the time to take care of the weeds. I don't know how the grass grows in certain areas. I don't know when the sun hits a certain spot, how they're going to grow. And, all that. They do a great job of taking all that stuff for me. And all I have to do is mow. They're going to do the same thing for you. And Green Envy, they've been in St. Louis for a very long time. I'll tell you what, I had a spot on the side of my house that I couldn't go grass there. I was seeding it and doing all that. And before Green Envy came, I spent a lot of time, a lot of money on a spot that just showed no results. Within less than a year, Green Envy already had grass sprouting up in that one spot. They're tremendous. They're going to be great for you. 636-757-1600. Tell them Stalter sent you. It's Green Envy. That's right, a little Battlehawks chat here. Carey Davis, Super Bowl champion with the Pittsburgh Steelers. I'm Anthony Stalter. It's the Fast Lane on 101 ESPN 502. Your time check brought to you by Clarkson Jewelers, an officially licensed Rolex jeweler. Carey, trivia question for you real quick.
All right.
Who's the only player to have played in both the 2020 and 2023 St. Louis Battlehawks home openers?
I think it is the person we have on the celebrity line.
That's right. It's Jake Sutherland. Jake Sutherland joins us right now via the 101 ESPN celebrity line. Jake, how you doing?
Doing good. How about you guys?
We're doing great. So, Jake, you were with the New York Guardians in 2020. Then, obviously, you came to the Battlehawks last year, played in the home opener in both those spots, and now this will make 3 home openers, at least in the building for the Battlehawks. That's kind of cool.
Yes, sir. I was going to say next year you'll have to add 2024 to that list.
Absolutely. That's right. Jake, I love the play design that opened you up for. Was it the touchdown or the conversion when you were wide open? It was a conversion, wasn't it?
Yeah, I was pretty open for both of them. So,
the conversion, both play designs were great, but the play design on the conversion, I'm like, man, this was great. I rewound it like a couple of times. You think I would remember if it was a touchdown or the 2-pointer. But do you know sometimes when you're practicing whether or not there's going to be a play, they're like, man, this is going to work damn near every time unless we show it too much on film?
Yeah, Bruce and AJ kind of tag team our offense. Obviously, Bruce Gregkowski, our offensive coordinator, he does a great job along with our other offensive coaches, scheming up plays just kind of based on what coverages defenses like to run against us. And you can definitely, when you line up across the defense, you can usually get a pretty good feeling of how the play is going to go and who's going to be open.
Jake, when you think about the Battlehawks home opener as an opponent and then as a player for the Battlehawks, what is it like to see it from both sides?
Definitely much better to be a player for St. Louis than an opponent. It's so loud, so it's full of energy. Obviously, from even in 2020 and then last year, it was the stadium with the most fans every single time, no matter who was playing, no matter what game was on. It's an incredible feeling. The St. Louis fan base are truly incredible.
Jake Sutherland, the tight end for the Battlehawks, joining us right now in the Fast Lane on 101 ESPN. We asked your teammate Wayne Gallman this last week. We love your coach, Anthony Becht. We love the way he communicates with us in the media, but I can't imagine what it's like being in a locker room with him. What are the aspects do you appreciate the most playing for Coach Anthony Becht since you were with a different team back in 2020?
Yeah, no, Coach Becht is an amazing leader. And not only that, he's been in our shoes, right? He's played at West Virginia, great career in college, and then played, I think, 11 or 12 years in the NFL at a very high level. So being able to learn from him, especially for me at the tight end position, is great because we get to pick his brain every single day. And he comes with a bunch of energy every single day, no matter if it's after a loss like this past weekend on Sunday or whether it's a new week preparing for a new opponent. You always get the same head coach every single time. It's awesome.
Now, you being a tight end and him being a former tight end, do you sometimes nudge him and say, hey, coach, we need to call that play again? Give some love to your position group, man.
Yeah, he tends to do that a little bit for us, which is good. Yeah, we get a little bit of pull from that, him being the head coach and a former tight end for sure.
Now, you have played in the XFL and now in the UFL. Have you noticed any changes in the years that this has taken place?
So just kind of being this guy who's played in a couple spring leagues. I played in the AAF in 2019 as well. Just kind of going throughout the years, I feel like it's gotten better and better as the years have gone on. It's been awesome to see. It's in the fan base every year. Whether it was the AAF, the XFL, now the UFL, it's also continued to grow. And I think we're getting to a point where spring pro football is definitely going to be here to stay for a very long time.
Jake Sutherland of the Battlehawks joining us right now on the Fast Lane on 101 ESPN. Jake, to piggyback off what Carey just asked you, you guys started to become familiar with some of the XFL opponents a year ago. Now in the UFL, the Michigan Panthers, you guys didn't face them last year. How difficult is it to face an opponent that you're unfamiliar with?
There's always challenges when going into a new game week, especially in the very beginning of the season. You don't have any current season film on opponents, but we have a great system with being able to game plan and watch film. We were able to watch some film from last season, and we had some joint practices and scrimmages during training camp, so we had some of that film as well. But yeah, it's difficult. You don't really know what to expect. The nice thing with this league, though, is that every team has players that played on either the team they're playing on now or a team that is no longer with us at this moment. So when we're trying to watch film and pick people out, we can dive into it as deep as we need to. But first week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, it's definitely difficult because there is very limited current season film.
Speaking of watching film, I'm sure you all are preparing for your game this Saturday. What have you seen from the Arlington Renegades as you all get prepared for this game on Saturday?
Yes, sir. Yep. Getting ready for that game. Obviously, with Arlington, pretty similar to last year. Pretty big defensively. They got some studs up front, and then obviously they have a lot of returners. And they made that championship run last year, so we got to give them that respect. But we're obviously putting a good game plan together to go get this W for our fans.
Well, Jake, we're looking forward to it. I'm sure you're fired up and your teammates are fired up to go back to the Battle Dome, open that thing up on Saturday. And as you know, it's going to be loud. It's going to be packed, man. So we're looking forward to it. Best of luck on Saturday. Enjoy talking to you, too.
Yes, sir. Thank you. I appreciate it. Hopefully we can get 50,000 out there.
Oh, I think you're on get it. Yeah. I think you're going to see it. Yeah, Jake, enjoy it. Yeah, excellent.
I love it. Appreciate you guys.
Have a good one.
Take care. Thank you. Jake Sutherland, tight end of the Battlehawks. Yeah, the last 2 years. We talked to him last year, too. Fun guy, somebody that has already made an impact. I like his game.
Yeah. He scored a touchdown. He said, which one? I was open on both.
Yeah, the touchdown, the conversion.
What are you referring to?
I was definitely talking about the conversion. It was the play where they had everybody moving right. If you're on the field, everybody, the play design was to the right, and they threw back to Sutherland, who had kind of leaked out to the left. Great play design. I forgot that Bruce Grakowski,
the OC,
is the OC. Mm-hmm. I saw him play at Toledo. There was a friend of mine that played. He was the tight end. He was a starting tight end for Toledo when Gradkowski was the quarterback at Toledo. And he had a really nice college career and wound up being a backup in the NFL for a while. I know he had some starts in Tampa. But, kind of a bright mind. Somebody that knows what he's doing.
We were teammates in Tampa, I think, as well, for a little bit. But he's great guy, first of all. I think Anthony Beck has done a great job. The one thing is these guys are striving and working their butts off. And as Jake said, it's a spring league. They're all having aspirations to make it to the next level, more than likely. And so having guys that have played at the next level, that are good people that can help you and assist in that role, just like we talked with Anthony a couple of weeks ago. Yeah. That's he loves to have those guys that are able to, not whether it's make it further into the NFL or make it further in life, to assist them in that. I think he does a great job with his staff of making sure that those coaches also have that same mindset and hiring players, finding players with that mindset that can help, that want to work hard and want to win championships, but win championships in life as well.
Mm-hmm. I know everyone's excited for the home opener. I'm excited. I'll be there. But when we look at the schedule and the way that this league is constructed, based off what we saw last year, do you think that this upcoming game this weekend is going to be somewhat of a must-win for the Battlehawks?
Yeah. Yes, I do.
This early?
Yeah, because you're in a situation where you're not playing a ton of games.
Right. Yeah.
So, you got to win, man. Yeah. You got to win. It's almost like college football, where you lose too many, you get too far behind. Not saying they can't, make a run at it, but
right.
Yeah, I do. I think with the way that the Battle Dome is going to be opened up and ready, I think you got to win.
And if you do win, I think you got to win by a lot, Anthony. It's not worth winning if you can't win big.
Absolutely. Andrew Marsh said that. Well, Gil Brandt said that initially. Not Gil Brandt. We used to have a bit where we gave all the credit to, what was his name?
Actually, Coach Riley said that in the Mighty Ducks.
He did.
It's not worth winning if you can't win.
That's
big.
right. Yeah. He got what was coming to him, though, in the end.
Yeah, he did.
Gordon Bombay snaked his best player and then took him down in the championship game.
It's actually his best player went down in the championship game, too.
Well, that was a dirty shot.
That was a dirty shot.
Dirty
you know
shot
what? And they
on
deserve
Banks.
it. And those two kids in the second movie got tied up to a tree.
Yeah, they did, exactly. They deserved that one as well. Yeah. What'd you do? My job. I don't think so. Unless you're a dirty player. The hell out of here. All right, it's Fastlane on 101 ESPN. Sports Six-Pack is next. If you got a question for us, leave it at the Air Comfort Service text line 314-399-9646. We'll answer your questions next on 101 ESPN.
It's time for the Fast Lane to answer your sports questions.
I want to ask you a bunch of questions, and I want to have them answered immediately.
Asking me all these weird questions.
Answer the question.
Answer the question.
Answer me!
The Sports Six-Pack is now.
It's Fastlane on 101 ESPN with Carey Davis and Andrew Marsh. I'm Anthony Stalter. Time for the Sports Six-Pack. You can participate via the Air Comfort Service text line at 314-399-9646. Marsh, what do you got for question one?
Question number one.
All right, we were just talking about the greatest coach to ever represent the United States of America, Gordon Bombay, of course, D2 Mighty Ducks. We got a question from the 314. Who is your favorite Duck? Mine had to be Julie the Cat or Averman, who I still don't know how he made Team USA, which is a very valid point.
Yeah, that's true. I didn't think that Averman was that great. No. Well, not an original Duck. He should have been an original Duck. Oh. Adam Banks.
What was the
Adam Banks, true talent.
What was the goalie's name?
Goldberg.
Goldberg is mine. That's me.
Goldberg, the goalie.
The goalie, yeah. Him.
He had some issues in real life.
Well, we're in the fiction world. We're going to stay with the movie.
Sure. I hear you.
He struggled in the movies, too, in the net, though. So much they had to make him a player. He played out.
He did. Well, when you got somebody like Julie the Cat Gaffney, who just wants to show the world what she can do, you got to roll through at some point. But initially, that's your guy, Goldberg. Okay.
I think mine's Dean Portman
of Chicago, from Chicago, Illinois.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. One, Bash brother, check. Two, just completely doesn't go to high school, and then out of nowhere, Gordon Bombay allegedly called him up, shows up in the third period, and sends a guy flying through the glass, and then decides to take all of his equipment off and do a dance in the penalty box. I mean, you gotta love that energy.
Makes the ladies go crazy there at that. What's the school?
It was Eden Hall.
Eden Hall, not Seton Hall.
Not Seton Hall. No, Eden Hall.
You know, a lot of people are like, hey, that's not realistic that he can fly through the glass like that. The plexiglass is going to break like that, which is totally true. My thing is, the way that he flew into the glass and landed in the crowd, his skates would have sliced, for sure, the faces of two human beings, the way that he flipped into the glass. So unrealistic all the way around there from Mighty Ducks 3.
It's a movie.
Nonetheless, Adam Banks.
There you go.
True talent.
There you go.
Yep.
Question number two.
All right.
It's a movie. Me. Sorry.
Now to real life from the 314. If the St. Louis Cardinals do not perform up to anyone's expectations before the trade deadline, who's the first player to go, or players, or is it the coach?
Well, the coach just got a contract extension, so I don't think it's going to be him.
Do you want to say it?
What?
Who's going to go?
Is there an obvious one?
Yeah, more obvious than others, I think. They play
it's got to be the hit. It's got to be the.
I don't think Goldie's a Cardinal for life.
Is he?
Yeah. No.
Sure.
Goldie.
Is he?
No, but we're talking about Goldschmidt. Yeah.
You think so?
Yes, I think the Cardinals want him to die at first base in the Cardinals uniform. So he'll be here as long as he wants.
At first base,
yeah. I don't think
there was another first baseman that they didn't care if he killed over at first base here.
He was more expensive though.
Yeah,
and they did offer him a contract.
Not the contract that he got.
Well, with taxes and things like that, it probably would have been pretty good.
Might have been.
Taxes, endorsements, he would have done fine.
Well, Goldie is coming up pretty soon here.
Yeah, he'll get a contract
an
extension.
Option.
I don't think
might be an option from someone else that's a little bit more.
No, he's not going anywhere. Goldie will retire a Cardinal. I don't think there's an obvious trade.
You don't think Arenado is
no?
If they are on the track, I've said this a few times. There were rumors last year. There was a dang on picture of him in a Dodgers uniform. Now, I don't know if the Dodgers got enough money at that. They probably do. They probably don't need a third baseman, but what the hell? Why not? But there were rumors last year when it was a terrible season that he may be looking to go elsewhere.
And what happened? Nothing.
Somebody coaxed him in the stand.
Nobody coaxed him in the stand. He ain't going anywhere. No, if Kyle Gibson is having a great year or a really good first half, He's on a 1-year deal. Lance Lynn, if he's having a really good
so you think it's
on 1 year?
pitchers?
I think it'd be guys that are on 1-year contracts. That if you're not having a good season.
Good call.
Good call, Aguado.
By the way, the 618, going back to the Mighty Duck question, Luis Mendoza, also a great player. Can't stop. I know he did one time, but has trouble stopping. However, Thanks Dad said Luis Mendoza also pickled the beast in PF Flyers.
He wound up being a Dodger. He was playing there. He was playing the wrong sport.
And, the Jets got a suicide lead, and he's still at home. I can't believe it. I don't see it.
Yeah, I don't like that movie because of that.
Really?
Yeah.
Why? Because
he's a Dodger.
He's a Dodger. You don't like the Dodgers. We did establish that earlier in the show.
That's unfortunate.
Look at him. Come on. They would have thrown his ass out.
I mean, he stole home, Anthony.
He didn't have it at that point.
He pickled the beast.
That's pretty good.
But 40 years ago.
Question number 3.
Cardinals should sign him. From the 636.
Perfectly.
What do you think attendance will be like for home games this weekend with the Cardinals, Battlehawks, and City all being at home?
Are you going to do the trifecta?
I am.
Are you?
Tickets have been purchased.
So talk to us about the trifecta.
All right, so this is what my day looks like on Saturday. In the morning, I don't know what we're doing in the morning, but I'm sure we'll go to a local establishment downtown. Personally, I want to go to the pitch just to get a little soccer in me because I won't be going to the City SC game on Saturday night. So I want to get a little soccer flavor in me before we head to Busch Stadium. We'll go watch the game at Busch, maybe head to BPV in between to watch some of the Blues game. And then right from there, we're going to go to the Battle Dome for the home opener. It's going to be a great day. Unfortunately, Jackson won't be a part of it. I think he's got something else going on. I know.
What is he at? Well, what basketball game is on?
Well, Final Four.
Yeah. Actually, you know what? That's exactly why he's not going.
Yeah.
It's not because of,
he told you.
Because he didn't want to hang out with me.
He
actually
told you something else, I think,
he actually did.
Yeah.
Actually, he didn't even give me a reason.
Well, he did. He told you, the weather's not going to be conducive.
He did say the weather.
Yeah.
I heard what he said.
He wants to be in the house watching
what he meant was
and I would have
the
happened
Final
if it
Four
wasn't for
is
those
on.
meddling kids. That's what Jackson is saying.
Yeah. No, what he meant to say was, I'll be watching the Final Four
from my home.
He didn't want to hurt your feelings.
Do you think he'll be tuned in to WrestleMania?
No, I think he's going to be tuned in.
Is that Sunday?
I think it's this weekend too.
Is
There's
it?
a lot of sports going on.
Is
Or a lot of
usually on
entertainment.
A lot of sports
It's a
entertainment.
two-parter.
Oh, really?
Two-parter.
Is Cody? What is it? Cody the
Cody Rhodes?
Yeah, Cody Rhodes, the American Nightmare, and The Rock should be. Are they going up against each other?
They are, and I think
saw something the other
Roman
day.
Reigns and The Rock.
I might need to.
I did see The Rock.
I may order WrestleMania.
Yeah, I think you can watch it on Peacock.
Oh,
Yeah, I think so.
even better.
But I saw The Rock.
You taking notes over there? Thank you, sir. Yep.
Yeah, I'm taking notes.
He like busted up Cody Rhodes' face the other day.
The American Nightmare beat him down and told the cameras to keep. Hey, you didn't see that?
Keep rolling.
Keep rolling.
I didn't see it.
They said cut. You got to see that.
Okay.
And he made a statement about it.
Yeah.
It's serious.
You smell that, Anthony?
With The Rock's cooking?
Yeah.
On Saturday night, I will be.
Question number 4.
I actually farted. From the 314.
That has happened in here before.
It has.
And Marsh, you're ever the gentleman. You have talked about hey, listen, guys, I'm sorry, and you've looked for spray.
Yeah.
Like
I got
you're
it
not
right
one of those.
here.
Yeah. I mean, you can't see the entire studio. You kind of get a picture of it, but we're not. It's certainly it's a nice studio. It's not overly big.
It's cozy.
It's cozy.
That's why we all
It's
were
intimate.
Sure is.
But
so
Marsh,
intimate that we can all get sick.
But Marsh, he let one go one time, and he let us know.
Well, I'm just trying to be courteous, letting you guys know. I don't want it to be one of those situations where we're all pointing at each other like, who did it? Who did it? I want to be
Little Spider-Man.
an honorable guy.
Yeah.
Much appreciated.
Yep.
And let you know, hey, I passed gas.
Thank you, Marsh.
So
What are we on there, Marsh?
we're on question number 4.
Okay. Should we keep rolling? You want to carry this thing over?
Let's carry it over. We'll get a couple more questions in and
Carry it over.
Carey's giving us the old wrap up.
The old Carey over.
Wrap it up and roll it over.
Roll it over. All right, there you go. We'll roll it over. Sports Six Pack next. Maybe a little update on your Cardinals here on 101 ESPN.
Auto Centers Nissan, well, they're thrilled to tell you that their Fresh Start program has just started, and it runs now through the end of April. It's specifically designed to make upgrading into a new car easier and more affordable than ever. Take advantage of some of the great incentives at Auto Centers Nissan Herculaneum. They got new Nissans that come with 0% APR and payment terms that go up to 84 months, up to $5,000 off MSRP, no down payment needed, and 3 months of no payments. You can give your wallet a break and save your tax money as well. Keep that in the bank or in your pocket. As always, all new Nissans at Auto Centers Nissan Herculaneum come with their exclusive lifetime warranty and 30-day return promise. If you're not satisfied within 30 days, you can bring the vehicle back, but they're willing to bet that you are going to love the experience. You are going to love the car or truck or van, whatever you purchase at Auto Centers Nissan, that they give you that 30-day return promise. And at Auto Centers Nissan, their dealership boasts 700-plus vehicles, all in one location. It truly is your ultimate car buying destination. Tell them Stalter sent you when you head out to Herculaneum. Check them out at AutoCentersNissan.com. It's Auto Centers Nissan.
ESPN Sports Center.
I'm Andrew Marsh. It's time for a Sports Center update brought to you by Saliga Heating and Cooling. The Cardinals trail 3-2 late in this one. Top of the 8th inning, runner on second. Willson Contreras at the dish. We'll keep you updated on the Cardinals game as they look to sweep the Padres. But we look towards tomorrow with the SportsCenter update as the Blues take on the Nashville Predators. Pregame starts at 6. Puck drop is at 7. And you can catch all the action right here on 101 ESPN. We talked earlier today with Jeremy Rutherford, as well as tight end from the Battlehawks, Jake Sutherland. If you missed those interviews, make sure you go to 101ESPN.com or check out the free 101 mobile app. Just head to the podcast page. It's all brought to you by Dobbs Tire and Auto Centers. We have part 2 of our Sports Six-Pack coming up next. So if you have any questions you want to send to us, do so using the Air Comfort Service text line 314-399-9646. Sports Six-Pack Part 2 coming your way next. I'm Andrew Marsh, and the SportsCenter update is brought to you by Saliga Heating and Cooling, independent American Standard heating and air conditioning dealer.
It's time for the Fast Lane to answer your sports questions.
I want to ask you a bunch of questions, and I want to have them answered immediately.
Asking me all these weird questions.
Answer the question.
Answer the question.
Answer me!
The Sports Six-Pack is now.
It's Fastlane on 101 ESPN. Carey Davis, Anthony Stalter, Andrew Marsh. Let's finish out that Sports Six-Pack.
Question number 4.
All right, from John. While I think both are far off, who do you think we will see lose their respective position first, John Mozeliak or Doug Armstrong?
John Mozeliak, because he only has a year left on his contract.
I don't think he's going to lose his job. I think Mo's going to step away.
That's what I'm saying.
Yes.
Not lose it, but essentially.
By the way, I'm sorry.
You said,
you want me to ask question number 5? Yes. I got a question.
Question number 5.
Life is on the line. You need one player on the Cardinals to ground into a double play. Who are you picking?
So obviously it's an important situation, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah, Nolan Arenado. I'll take him.
What about Paul Goldschmidt?
I'll take him too. Yeah. Willson Contreras just walked. By the way, it's still 3-2. It's 3-2. 3-2 Cardinals. We're watching it here in the studio. Goldie tried his hardest to hit into a double play. Errant throw winds up putting Goldie at second and scoring the second run for the Cardinals. So now it's a 3-2 game, 1 out. Willson Contreras is up, and I looked at everybody in the studio. I go, it's got to be him. It's got to be him now.
Mm-hmm.
He has got to be the one.
Well, they walked him, Anthony.
And they walked him because they're smart to get to Nolan Arenado, who rolled over on one again. End of inning, heading into the bottom of the 8th.
It's the first week of the season.
Come on, man.
So he walked and then swung at the first 2 pitches?
Contreras walked.
Yes.
And then Nolan Arenado says, let's do this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They did get a couple hitters hit. Victor Scott scored after he got hit by a pitch. And Brendan Donovan got hit by a pitch.
This is a frustrating game today, boys. Frustrating game for the old Redbirds.
Masyn Winn isn't playing.
No, because you had a bunch of guys on base, and all you've done is hitting a double plays.
Masyn Winn isn't playing. He's fast.
Yeah. All right, Marsh. Sorry. Go ahead.
No. Yeah, it's fine.
It's frustrating.
Well, it is frustrating. We tried. We were going to be positive today.
And we have been.
It
took till 5:30 for us to be ticked off, and we had good reason to. So, I don't know. People can talk about it, be upset with us for being negative if you want, but I'm sorry. I get ticked off when I see something like that. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Question number 6.
It's because you care.
I do.
He does.
Mm-hmm. You're not a Dodger fan. You're a Cardinal fan.
Should be a 3-3 game right now. Yeah. You got your cleanup hitter up, guy that's making all that moolah. Perfect situation, prime situation here, and you roll over on one.
Not great.
Frustrating. Go ahead, Marsh. Sorry.
All right. Question number 6 from the 646. Does anyone else miss Jeff Albert? The strikeouts and double plays of this team are frustrating.
No.
Not even.
I don't think that. I don't look. These are professional hitters. Nobody, whether it's Jeff Albert or, name your favorite hitting coach of all time. Mark McGwire. Everybody loved Mark McGwire when he came in here. Nobody's instructing those guys. Sure, if it's Mabry, go for it. Nobody's instructing anybody to step in the box and strike out or hitting a double plays or whatever. These are professional hitters.
This is the philosophy of baseball, though. We were talking about it earlier, Marsh. You were frustrated with the batting averages. Nobody cares about batting average anymore. They care about launch angle and home runs. So when you're swinging for the fences, so to speak, gonna miss a lot of baseballs.
Carey, what part of the ground into a double play offense do you not like about the Cardinals? They're not hitting home runs. They're not whiffing at home runs.
They're striking out. They struck out
the
40
ball solidly on the ground
times.
to the shortstop.
You know how you
6-4-3
you combat that.
What?
Have fast guys playing. Why is Masyn Winn out?
How about you put the ball in the air?
Nah, launch angle.
And over the fence. You know what the Padres done today? A couple of ding-dong Johnsons.
Or you can hit the ball on the ground and run fast.
Come on.
Tony Gwynn is shaking his head right now. He would be.
He would be.
How about this Ryan Fernandez cat?
Yeah, he looks good.
Got a nice mustache.
Would have looked good.
You know who could also
Sunday.
ground into a double play? Ryan Fernandez. Should have pinch hit.
Might have swung and missed.
All right, I'm getting nasty here. Go ahead. And not in a fast lane way.
I mean, we already hit question number 6.
Oh, what was it?
That was it.
What was it?
The Jeff Albert question.
Oh. We went down another route. All right, 101 ESPN, that's us. We're going to be broadcasting live from the Budweiser Brewhouse inside Ballpark Village tomorrow for opening day. Home opener, finally here. We'll be set up just steps away from Busch Stadium. The opening drive, BK and Ferrario, and us. The Fast Lane, all coming to you live tomorrow from Ballpark Village. Our opening day broadcast brought to you by Swiss Air Heating and Cooling, Holiday World and Splash and Safari, and by Budweiser.
Yeah, I shouldn't have said anything.
Check us out tomorrow. Yeah, Fernandez, you just cursed Fernandez there, didn't you? Yep. So he gives up a double.
Did get a text earlier, though, that, and we were being positive, of course, at the beginning of the show, and someone thought that I may have BK'd the Cardinals. But I said that only happens when I have a vision.
Yeah, that's right.
I haven't had one yet.
The BKO, I mean, that's just a statement that works against the Cardinals from out of Brandon Kiley. You have visions like the one that Adam Wainwright out in London was going to pitch his baguettes off and
that didn't work out
and set the Cardinals up right the rest of the year. I don't know if he got out of the first that day.
I don't think he might have.
Maybe.
I think he did get into the second inning, but yeah, it was something like what Carey just said. Yeah, not a great vision, of course. Maybe I'll come up with one tonight. It'll be more positive.
Well, no, let it come to you there, Marsh. All right? Maybe your vision last year should have been of him strumming that old sweet guitar and opening for country music acts around the world.
Beautiful.
Or here.
Have you heard one of his new songs?
I have not. No, one of his originals?
It's actually pretty good, in my opinion.
Sure.
I don't know why I just thought about you talking about the Beyonce song playing over and over again, and you were very frustrated.
Oh, repeating the same lyric over and over again? The old Beyonce special?
So Adam Wainwright actually has 3 songs now. I haven't heard a song will bring you back. There must be a new one, but the one Hey Y'all. Actually, I get down with that song.
Nice. Okay, good. I'll have to check it out.
Yeah. That's
no, not that one.
Not that. That's not. Hey yeah. No.
Oh, you're thinking that's Outkast.
That's the song. No. It's Outkast. Hey yeah.
Not ringing any bells.
Hearing it.
Really?
Yeah.
I'll play it for you.
I know I've heard it.
that song.
I know I've heard it.
Shake it like a Polaroid picture.
Got it now. Yeah, all right. Yeah, that's right. All right, it's Fastlane on 101 ESPN. Cardinals trailing 3-2. They have left 6,000 men on base today. Many of opportunities to drive runs in. It should be
on base.
A 7-3 game. Instead, it's 3-2. And I am frustrated heading into our final segment here. Bet the board, 3 stars of the day, criticisms and compliments, all coming at you next. If you missed anything from today's show, you can always download the podcast, available at 101ESPN.com and on your 101 ESPN mobile app, brought to you by Dobbs Tire and Auto Centers. Atta baby, Marshy. Time to play Bet the Board. I'm already keyed for struggling, 0 for deuce. Did you get on the board, Carey?
Last night, yes.
Nice.
My Golden State Warriors won because they had to.
So you're 1-1.
Really didn't have a choice.
Did Jamie win?
Who did he pick?
I don't know. I forgot.
Jamie had the Canucks money line.
And?
Yeah, I don't know.
Let me look at this here. No, they lost 6-3.
Oh. What'd you do, Marshy?
So I had Miles Mikolas over 3.5 strikeouts.
What did he do?
And the fella had 4.
Oh, yeah. Nice. There you go. All right, so Marsh, you're up 2-0. Carey, 1-1. Mm-hmm. Jamie, 1-1. And I look for my first tonight here, boys.
Anthony, I think you'll get it.
Thank you.
All right.
I think you're going to get it.
I appreciate that. Marsh, go ahead.
All right, so I am looking at the Chicago Cubs-Colorado Rockies game, and Colorado's terrible. I'm going over 7 total runs tonight, minus 120. Chicago probably going to win that game, but over 7 runs in that game. That's my pick.
Over 7 runs. Carey.
I am going to go with I guess I should say your.
No.
They aren't yours.
UConn? They play on Saturday. You don't want to waste your pick now. You won't
pick them yet. But I can pick your other team who hasn't lost a game yet, and that would be your Pittsburgh Pirates. That's the Washington Nationals.
They just started. Sorry, buddy.
Did it?
Yep.
Gosh darn it.
Top of the first.
No.
Already 1 out.
Gosh darn it. All right.
I almost did that the other day with the Rangers. I'm like, I love the Rangers over, blah, 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 blah. And I looked, I'm like, no.
All right.
So they got a little earlier start times right now.
That's ridiculous.
Did Jamie send us a pick earlier?
No.
I'm going to go with. He didn't. He did. No, he didn't.
No.
You know what? I'm going to go with the Vancouver Canucks minus 150 over the Arizona Coyotes.
Okay.
Just made it.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah,
you know Jamie. Go ahead.
If I knew Jamie, he's been fading the teams that the Blues need to lose. So Seattle taking on the LA Kings tonight, plus 150 are the Kraken. I think he's going with Seattle.
All right, there you go. I'll take the Maple Leafs. They're 8-2 over the last 10 games against the Lightning. Don't like going against the Lightning, especially with how hot they are. But if you are, you do it on the road, and you do it against an opponent they have struggled with. So give me the Toronto Maple Leafs, minus 110. And that's Bet the Board. Marsh, what do you got for criticisms and compliments?
Yeah, this one comes from Alex. Marsh has visions like the Lisan Al Gaib, and you two have no idea what that is.
No clue. Not one bit.
I don't even know what that means.
Yeah. I thought you cursed at us.
No, it's from Dune.
Is it?
Dune, the movie and the book series.
Wasn't Dune a game, too?
There probably is a game.
Another movie called
back in the day. Didn't we have a Dune?
Mike Ryder would know.
Ryder.
Doom,
not Dune.
Yeah, you're thinking of Doom.
Doom. That's right. When you're in basically the underground there, and you're shooting at demons and stuff. Yeah, I remember. All right. Thank you, Mike Ryder. Yeah, Doom. They made a movie out of that, too, I think.
I think they did. I don't know if
I don't think it went well
at
the box office. Yeah.
Probably not.
Nope.
Usually video game movies.
The Rock was in Doom. That's right.
Oh, he was.
Yeah, but I don't think it did well. I think he'd like to have that one back.
Probably. Yeah, what was the other movie that he was in? Was it The Mummy, where he looks like a video game character?
Yes.
He's a Scorpion King. Yes, thank you, Mike Ryder.
There you go. He was also in Moana.
Mm-hmm. He's been in a lot of things. Mm-hmm. What is your favorite Rock movie? Is it Skyscraper?
What's the movie where he was, they were flying, he was the helicopter pilot?
San Andreas.
San Andreas. I like that one.
What is my favorite?
What about another video game movie with the giant, there's like a giant lizard, there's a giant Rampage. Yes. Thank you, Mike Ryder. This guy is on top of everything.
Yeah, he is. I don't know. You know, he's really good in actually was. Did you guys see the latest like Jumanji
Yeah.
Those are really entertaining. I like those. I don't know if this is my favorite from him, but those are really entertaining.
How do you think you would do if you got put into Jumanji?
In Jumanji?
Game? Yeah.
Yeah, I'm fighting for my life. No doubt about it.
Now, which one did you like more, the Robin Williams Jumanji or the Rock, the Kevin Hart, Jack Black?
I like the Kevin Hart and Rock one.
You got to appreciate the OG, but the way that they modernized the last two, I think were really good. And the actors like Jack Black, The Rock, they all did a phenomenal job in it, I thought. It's really entertaining. I like those.
By the way, the Cardinals have a chance to tie the game. Will they do it?
Just come on now.
Can they do it before we sign out?
Who's up here? Alec Burleson?
Oh.
Yeah. I think they tie this up before we're out. I believe in Burley.
All right.
Okay.
I'm tied up.
You talk about those 2-4 hitters. If the 2-4 hitters were up, I'm out. But Burley.
Look who's on first.
I'm good with it.
Just go up.
Yeah.
We got a message from the Snake Pit from Tanisha. Bye, Snake Pit. Everyone have a great evening.
All right. Yeah, I love the Snake Pit.
Snake Pit, I always enjoy. I always enjoy you guys.
Great people.
No doubt. Was Josh Ennis in the Snake Pit today?
Not today.
Not today.
I don't think so, but we did get our own dose of Josh Ennis today.
Josh likes to stroll into our office about 1:15 or so and present his show to us, like the Fast Lane show, to us for about 45 minutes. And then eventually we have to look at him.
What are we doing?
And we say, Josh, we're trying to prep.
Okay.
But we say,
trying to.
Josh, we both now have to get on air. You have to go to KC. We appreciate you. He always says something that makes you go,
Interesting.
Interesting. I can't use that, Josh, on air. Because we have a FCC license, but
he needs to write a book.
Yeah.
Life and Times of Josh Ennis.
He's an interesting dude. Ain't no doubt about it.
Now, let me ask you a question. Why wouldn't we pinch run for Herrera right there? There's a young man that can actually roll that didn't play today.
He's on first.
Did he pinch run? Why would you?
I don't know what happened with Winn because we've been on air, but he's on first right now.
Why? How did he get on first? Did he bat?
I've been talking to you.
I've been talking to you. I didn't see it either.
Sorry.
You guys ready for the 3 stars of the day?
Sure.
Our third star goes out to Double Plays.
I don't like that at all.
Oh, that's why it's the third star.
Nobody likes the third star, I guess.
Yeah. Our second star of the day goes out to Farts.
Oh. Okay.
Okay. All right. Boy, this is a rough 3 stars today.
But the first star of the day goes out to the Mighty Ducks.
Yeah, absolutely. Mighty Ducks. Gordon Bombay, greatest GM in sports history. Prove me wrong.
The Dodgers got everybody on the team, so I think
he did a great job. He scouted.
So did the Dodgers.
Yeah, but the Dodgers bought them. I mean, he knew about Banks. He knew to find the one guy with the slap shot there. What's the main guy? Slap shot.
Oh, that would be Fulton Reed.
Fulton Reed. Yeah, found him. Anyways, everybody have a great night. See ya.